Seeking an actor vocalist with strong improvisational abilities to portray our galactic superstar. Character portrayed is a Twi'lek, 30s and 40s, who commands respect and flame roses at her feet, operating in an illegal, dubious world of galactic intrigue while fighting for her race's integrity and freedom. A Twi'lek! A fucking Twi'lek! Fuck Star Wars! I fucking... God, it's stupid shit. Oh, dude.
A fucking Twi'lek! Fuck Star Wars! A fucking... God, it's stupid shit. Oh, dude.
I think I just broke my monitor. Oh, fuck.
All of you!
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Toby, and the light source is hitting the right side of his face. And I can't believe I'm about to say this. I never thought I would say this in my entire online career. But look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick. Look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
You're about to get frostbitten.
Get him!
Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a
Bumpy ride.
All you geeks and gamers better stop jerking off to me, okay? I smell like burnt hair, Julie. That isn't stopping you. I fuck you like you're retarded because I think you're all retarded. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten.
Go fast!
Friday Night Tights.
Get him!
Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'll wait.
Weird!
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
I'm not qualified. Go ahead. Make my day.
Get him!
Call me Beaver Barbie.
Bitch, you're that goddamn ugly.
I jerked off to the dislike ratio.
I'm not hot to you.
No.
What in the heck did I just walk into?
Wow. People keep confusing me for prepubescent Justin Bieber. Someone in the chat called me Eminem mid-transition. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten.
Go fast!
Friday Night Tights.
Get him!
Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'm standing up for all the women at G4. Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Pockets, Scissors, Tape Dispenser, and Filing Cabinet. X-Ray girl, she is a beautiful young Oriental. X-Ray girl,
Give me cock. Ask them the price of cock.
X-ray girl, what is this for you to stroke your chopstick to? You don't like it? Go somewhere else. Peace. Right now.
Nerdrotic.com.
Hey! Hello! That was too short. I get it. I have to lengthen that. That's to you. That's to you. Welcome, everyone, to the Nerdrotic Nooner, the 304th episode. A very special episode. We hit 400,000 subscribers. Holy shit. That's incredible. All right, so thank you. That's what I would like to start out with. I would like to thank all the new people. Welcome you all to this fellowship of ragtag individuals who are outsiders, zeros, nobodies. That's what we are. That's what we've been told throughout our entire life, being nerds. I was told that not by my dad really, but by other people, by teachers, by principals, all the time. I would amount to nothing. And fuck all those people. That's what you always have to think. I'd like to thank all the people who have stuck around throughout the years. When I started this channel, it was to review television, and it was before the dark times, before the woke pyre, when television was pretty good, actually. I never thought we'd be fighting a culture war. which we are. And I never thought we'd see the things we love vandalized, tortured, mutilated, subverted into what is basically political platforms for propaganda. But it happened. And throughout the history of this channel, you know, I've had hosts come and go, primarily in the early days because they didn't really like the direction I was taking this channel. And little did I know that later on, when I started speaking my mind about California and such, that we'd lose friends. But I'm sure that's something you guys have experienced too. So I appreciate you all. I can never express my gratitude enough. I'm going to try, but I cannot express my gratitude enough. A lot of channels will say, well, subscribers are not important. Bullshit. They're important. They're very important. Are they the most important thing? Yeah. They help you get your video out. They show you support as a individual content creator. And one of the things I'm happiest about, I would say, is because I was inspired by other YouTubers to come on here and speak my mind and do my thing. And I've tried to pay that forward by telling you all to do the same thing. I would say treat it as a hobby at first. Have some fun, because it's a lot of fun. It's, you know, I've been in bands before, and it's better than that. I've collaborated with people artistically. It's better than that, because, you know, you don't really have to rely on a ton of people. Now, I do collaborate, but it's still my thing. And yes, I have to wade the murky waters of the TOS here on YouTube, but otherwise, I do stuff at my own time. I work as late as I want. Work, quote unquote work. I can start and stop whenever I want. It's great. It's fucking brilliant. So thank you. And with this Joe Rogan thing, it's more important now than ever that if you are a practitioner of common sense, and if you want to do it and you got the gift of gab, grab a microphone. If you have an internet connection, get on here and try it. I know a lot of people will discourage you, and I'll agree with that to some point if you want to come out and just make this your job up front, but I wouldn't discourage you as, again, a hobby. Because the more of us here practicing that common sense, the harder it gets to silence it, which they are definitely trying to do. Trying to silence somebody like Joe Rogan, who I doubt ever wanted to be in the position he's in as far as being seen as a leader in this culture war, which he is. And that's why the entire system is coming down on a guy who likes DMT, smokes a lot of pot, will entertain great guests like Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock and talk about aliens, but he'll also ask questions. You know, that misinformation that the system is saying these platforms are trying to push, it's just questions. And if you're trying to silence questions and conversations, and more importantly, if you're on the side of people who want to silence questions and conversations, then you are the enemy. You are the enemy of free expression. You are the enemy of art. You are the enemy of culture. Very disappointing to see Elvira, who made her entire living shaking her boobies, come out against free speech and free expression out of a narcissistic cowardice. And hey, she's 70. She's made her money. She's fine. And she probably gained, I think the Quartering did a video on this showing that she probably gained an audience on Twitter, which what this was probably all about. I agree with the Quartering. It was all about clout. Same thing with G4. It's all about clout. Honestly, that's what the companies have been doing too, the corporations. It's clout, in a sense. It's just being on the safe side. And when they chose a side, when the corporations chose a side, which, listen, we've known Hollywood largely has been on a side, but they never really came out this hard until recently. That's a problem. That's because you're saying the other side. What did Justin Trudeau say? Unacceptable views. The other side is unacceptable, and their views are unacceptable. Well, I categorically reject that theory. It's nonsense. We're dealing with a lot of constructs like those brilliant truckers up there protesting peacefully, being conflated with all kinds of BS like white supremacy and racism. The same crap we heard when we said we didn't like a really bad Star Wars movie. And thankfully, more and more people are seeing through this, and that's why it's really important that channels like Ryan at RK Outpost, Jeremy at his 75 channels, Az with Heel versus Babyface, Odin Comics, who has been trying to spread the word on the Great Reset, Chrissy doing her thing, everybody at Friday Night Tights, from Az to Culture Casino to Sporking. We have people trying to push that so controversial common sense. And we've had people who've been doing it for a long time on this platform, like Razor Fist, which I unfortunately, he's been pushing it quite a bit, and I love it. And I don't want him to be, I don't want to see him get kicked off this platform. I don't, because I think he's important. I think we need him here. And Eric July and Memeology, who we had both of them on Friday Night Tights last week. These are important voices, as the other side likes to say, pushing those unacceptable views. We need these people. We need these people to keep pushing those very acceptable views because they're bringing new people in every day. I can't say each new subscriber is a new person. It might be somebody who resubscribed, but each new subscriber a channel gets, that is a new person, obviously, who wants to see your stuff. And I'm grateful for that. But when I hear things like, we need to stop talking about this or that, or hear the constructive criticism from other channels, which they have every right to their opinion, but they have an awful lot of constructive criticism for other channels, when I would just say, mind your own house. Mind your own house. You don't hear me telling other people what to do, despite what some people might say. Excuse me, a little drink of water for the working man and woman out there. Bless you. Oh, but I've been feeling pretty good. So I apologize for not, I'm going to get on Twitter after the show, and I'm going to heart every kind word that was said about the 400,000 subs. I really appreciate it. I've been very busy recording, and when I'm not recording, I have to pack boxes because Mrs. Nerdrotic will probably set me on fire if I'm not ready for the move, which is in like 12 days. 12 days. So somehow got to keep this channel going and get, not halfway across the country, halfway across the country. And oh, damn, I'm going to miss the ice storm in Texas. I'm so bummed about that. I am so bummed. I'm going to miss my very first ice storm. I'm probably going to have one in the future. And no, I've never been through an ice storm. I think I've been in snow maybe twice in my life. I was born in San Diego 52 years ago. I've been in California all my life. I lived 18 years in San Francisco, primarily because that's where Melissa was, and she made more money than I did, and that's where all her clients lived, and she had a very successful career. And my career was okay, but it was one that could move, and I wasn't going to ask her to move. So I moved up there, and, I met some great people in San Francisco, and I had a good time at the comic store. Mostly ignored the politics because that's all you can do, because they're insane. They're absolutely insane. The place is insane. Now, there are like regular, normal people there, but it's what's happening to the state. You're going to see it probably coming to a state near you. A lot of creative districting. We're seeing that in New York City right now, which is able to fortify a certain party to stay in power forever. Part of the reason I'm leaving California is this is a one-party state. That's never going to change. That's clear. If I thought there was a possibility, I might have thought about staying. We've certainly thought about it a lot. We've had a lot of time. We've had a year and a half. By the way, that's going to be in my upcoming video, so I don't want to spoil all of it. But yeah, it's taken this long to move. Obviously, I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not Ben Shapiro, although I do not begrudge those two gentlemen for having the resources to get the hell out of here as quick as they could. Good for them. Wish I had that. Don't have it. I'm very thankful to have a Quarter Black Garrett out there who's helping me a lot. Thanks, buddy. And Perry Chan. Hail Perry Chan. Man is genius. He's an effing genius. Oh, can't wait till he's done with the California video. Woo. And then, oh, man, do I have a special one for you after that. Yes, I do. We did get some entertainment news. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there is another Star Trek show coming out. So more bad Star Trek from Alex Kurtzman, and this is what I love about fandom, man. They're optimistic. They're like, maybe this time it'll be better. Maybe. I think there's a 0.000000001% chance that will never happen. No, it won't happen. And yeah, I didn't watch it. I skimmed through Book of Boba Fett, which is hilarious because spoilers. Boba Fett's not in the show again. Fucking Disney Star Wars. All I got to say is I stand with Gina Carano. That's why I'm not reviewing Boba Fett, not going to review Boba Fett. I will certainly cover Star Wars news because, as I've said, it's always more entertaining than what they put on screen, which will just, from here till the end of time, be mucking around in a time period that won't mess with anything. They're not going to get rid of the Disney trilogy, as much as I'd love that to happen. And if I'm wrong, I will freely admit it. And they'll just jangle the keys out there, and that's what they're starting to do with Marvel as well. Marvel's still in the... I won't say Marvel's had their Last Jedi yet, but they might have had it in pieces. I think with Marvel, it's going to be death by 1,000 paper cuts, to be honest with you. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Joe. We're going to celebrate the history of the channel, although I just did that with the anniversary. Maybe we'll later on take a look at my video when I'm a beardless boy and I got 1,000 subscribers, and I was working at Toyota at the time, which was about 2 miles away. No, not even that, 1.5 miles away from the YouTube building. So I ran up there and I did a quick video on my phone. And I feel the same today as I did then. I was stoked when we got it. I'm like, 1,000 people are subscribed to this channel. Are you freaking kidding me? That's great. I was having so much fun, and it was just a hobby, you know. I had a co-host at the time who really was pushing me to it's like, we could make money at this. And I'm like, we can't make money at this. You got to be crazy. We got to work at this. It's got to take time. And, he went off and did his own thing on Twitch, and good for him. He did some D&D. And I just stuck around and kept doing my thing. Never thinking it would be like this. Not for a minute. Not for a second. So let's see who's here. Let's go to the chat. Chitty chat, chitty chat. What's up? We got Kurama. Oh, I got to pick the hardest name first. Sorry, I'm going to butcher it. Uzumaki. Kurama Uzumaki. Welcome. What's up, Eric K. and his wrench? Darius Munchhausen. Steve L. Knievel. Oh, Steve L. Knievel. I still love that name. Another Gen 42. Hail. Yum Yum Eat 'em Up. All right. Robert Lennett. Robert. Hi, Robert. Oh, wow. Now it's going fast. Beach Lover. 16-bit mascot. Judicon. Bastard. Dan Miko 1. Alex from Oxenfree. Michael Bellington, the fantastic Mr. Knox. A lot of old timers around here. Paul Schlock, Cody Hardison, K Thrash, the R says R. Tobias Gregory, Leith Raven, just another red shirt and his wrench. Smooth the DJ. The Devastator, Robert Lewis, Gabriel W., Jim J., Sander Hammerslag, Mark Santos. Oh, it's moving again. The Green Oak, Dark Matter NC, and Darth Gravel. There's Chris Persia, the Canadian Wrench. By the way, hail freaking Canada. Hail the Canadian truckers. Hell yeah. That is fucking awesome. I've been waiting for something like that to happen, and I think it's just going to get, especially if they try to stop it. Honk, honk. That's right. I need that in my soundboard. Why didn't I do that? I don't know why I didn't do that, but yeah. Hail the Canadian truckers. If any of them are out there listening, we got your back. I donated to the GoFundMe. I hope that money goes to you guys. I really do. If you got a couple of bucks, maybe donate to the Go. They got a lot. They had like $10 million, which I don't know. I guess GoFundMe is holding the funds, but I think it's normal to hold the funds for a couple of days. Not sure what's going on there. Not entirely sure. Don't want to hear that from GoFundMe if that's the case. But I guess there's going to be convoys all around now. And yeah, the truckers have the power to get stuff done. And I guess Justin ran and pulled the old, I don't feel safe. Like anything's going to happen. Right. And these are the same people who were, rooting. The people who are against this one are the same people who were absolutely rooting on all the rioting and looting and death that was happening in the summer of 2020. The mainstream media likes to ignore that and hyper-focus on a particular date in January, which most people know is complete bullshit, and even the people on the other side know it's bullshit, yet they want to play their partisan games. Whatever. Just know you're making the world a worse place by doing that, instead of acknowledging that what happened last summer wasn't justice. It was the destruction of people's lives. And it had, effects that we're still feeling today. Why do you think U-Haul ran out of trucks in California? Even Snopes had to say that was true, because it is. It's very difficult to get a truck. There are still people leaving the state in droves, and the media has just stopped talking about it, and the politicians, I guess they can't ignore it because Gavin Newsom passed his recall. He saw that as a mandate, so he's fine. You know what's interesting is the DA in LA and the DA in San Francisco are both getting recalled right now. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but they are. And I know Eric has talked about this. It's not all about defund the police. I agree with Mr. July on this subject. I think we need to give people the ability back to defend themselves, because that's one of the biggest problems here in California. I experienced that at my store. I almost got arrested for ejecting a person out of my store who was breaking shit and causing a scene with my 6-year-old son there at the time. 7-year-old son there. And it was only the fact that my 7-year-old son was there that I didn't go to jail protecting my own store. And yes, they have prosecuted people who have shot people who have come into their house. So we need to give people the ability back to protect themselves. Then you won't need to spend so much money on police. It really is that simple. Hail Eric July, by the way. Oh, my goodness. So, hey, thank you for all the kind words. Yeah, 400,000 subs. That is, my Mrs. Nerdrotic called me, and, you know, she's funny. She's a funny one. And she's like, can I have your autograph in the morning? I'm like, shut up. No. I told her to call my agent. She is my agent. Agent. But yeah, like the reason, like, you know, like look what's happened since G4. I think we all got a G4 bump, right? You know, Ryan, baby boy Ryan just passed 100,000. Geeks and Gamers has been killing it. Sports Wars, 100,000. D-Day Cobra, 100,000. Az is about to hit 300,000. If you have not subscribed to my good friend Az at Heel versus Babyface, you need to do that. He's funny as hell and a very entertaining human being. And he manages to watch bad television, so we don't have to. And he watches some of the worst. He watches stuff I won't even touch. So, and it's funny. Is it bad for him? Probably. He's probably going to lose his sanity at some point, but we'll just laugh at his expense until that. No, we love you, man. Yeah, so Az is very close to 300,000 subscribers. And no, of course not. It's not all about subs, right? It's about traction. It's about, I guess, being effective. I see it sucks that we've lost a lot of channels on this platform that I completely disagree with, that I think Alex Jones should be here. I think Salty Cracker should be here. And I think Crowder should be monetized. I think they should leave Eric July alone, Razor Fist alone. I think they should all be here. I think adults can decide for themselves what they like and what they don't like and what they think is misinformation. I freaking hate that word is in our vernacular right now, and it's being pushed by our government. A government that basically has blamed the citizenry for all of their incompetent acts. And when we have a leader of a country saying something like unacceptable views, and quite frankly, we're talking about a peaceful protest. We're not talking about anything other than that. That's where stuff starts to get evil. So that's, again, thank you, because this doesn't happen without you guys. The power is in the chat. The power is in the comment section. The power is with you. So that's why the more of you coming on this platform makes it a problem. How's the saying go? We are many. We are legion, for we are many. That's how it goes. Yeah, it's a demon, and it might not be the best analogy, but it's a good one anyway. I like it. That's how they see us anyway. I mean, think about how crazy it is. Think about how freaking insane. Like we're so used to it now. We're so used to it now. But 5 or 6 years ago, if you were told, hey, do you know in 2018, 2019, if you say you don't like The Last Jedi, well, for one, in 2000, I think it was 17 or 18, they're going to make a really bad Star Wars movie. And you're going to go, what? And then when you say you don't like this really bad Star Wars movie, they're going to call you a white supremacist or a racist or a sexist or a misogynist. And you're going to get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. They're going to say you're part of a Russian conspiracy. There's going to be articles written that are going to conflate you with Steve Bannon. I got nothing against Steve Bannon. Personally, I don't know the guy. former Hollywood producer, doesn't like Democrats. And then they're like even connect you to Rush Limbaugh. Well, okay, I listened to him. Is that the connection? I think the first time I listened to Rush was in prison because I was in Represa, California, where Folsom is. So I was getting all the Sacramento radio stations. And I heard Rush back then. May he rest in peace. The guy that everybody, they celebrated his death, the other side, the side of empathy and humanity, celebrated a human being's death. Yeah. Nice people. Nice fucking people. I would love to be just reviewing good television. That's all. I'm sure I think what a lot of people would like. But it's important that the channels that are growing and keep speaking out. Of course, choose your battles. Choose your battles. You can't see woke absolutely everywhere. But that being said, it's damn near absolutely everywhere now. It wasn't everywhere 2 years ago. It was in a lot of places, but it wasn't everywhere 2 years ago. But over the last year and a half, especially the stuff that we're seeing that was made in 2019 is, yeah, most of it's woke garbage. George sent me an article yesterday. They're going to do another female Robin Hood along with the female Zorro. So let's just go ahead and do a female-led Last Temptation of Christ. We could just gender swap everybody. Instead of the Mother Mary, there'll be the Father Mike or whatever you want to do, or the Mother Mike. I don't fucking know. An all-female Saving Private Ryan. Why not? Female-led platoon. So the Halo trailer comes out. Jeremy got he got the Batman treatment that I got. Oh man. I am going to straight up do, I hope I'm wrong about the Batman, by the way, but I am going to straight up do a razor fist F you, I was right, if that movie ends up being what I think it is. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a really great movie that we can review. I heard it's like 17 hours long, which I'm okay if it's good. I don't mind length. Oh boy, that's going to get clipped. Fuck. Whatever. I've said it, Perry. Don't you dare. So Jeremy, does this thing with the Halo trailer, and I know shit about Halo. It looks like generic garbage, and it looks like the guy behind the mask is going to be probably helping the girl is the key to everything, which happened in Picard, which is going to happen in Indiana Jones, which was Star Wars. The girl is the key to everything, happened in Punisher season 2, happened in Iron Fist season 2. Yeah. So, Jeremy just says, I think this might be woke. Kind of looks like it. And people freaked out like things are going to be different. For one, this is Paramount Plus. This is the company that produces Star Trek Discovery and Picard. And Razorfist pointed out yesterday that Peter Jackson wanted to do a Halo film back in 2007. That would have been cool. I know all the concepts of it look familiar to me. It looks like it's just they've borrowed from a lot of science fiction to make a video game that I'm sure people like. And again, I know dick about it. I know it was part of an Xbox exclusive when Xbox first came out because my kid mentioned it. I mean, I own consoles. I think I've played, back in the comic shop days, I used to play like a little bit, but I haven't touched one in years. Oh, but I have to do that Witcher thing, and I have to do it before I move. All right. So, again, it's important that we keep talking about this stuff, and we choose our battles. If we stop talking about it, then new people will not come in because there's very few people talking about this because we are the other side. I've said this before. If you want to find Hollywood side, the corporate side, you have thousands, literally thousands of choices. Go watch John Campea. He'll give you the party line. A lot of people enjoy that. That's fine. Nothing really against the dude. His co-host is better, but, you know, it's probably why I kept him around. That's the guy with the actual knowledge, Robert Meyer Burnett. And I don't agree with Robert on everything, for sure. And that's why I came to YouTube. Your boy Zach was one of the first videos I watched when, I'll never forget it. It's Captain Marvel is everything wrong with Marvel. It's a classic video at this point. I think it's YouTube lore at this point. And he was just pointing out the obvious before anybody else was pointing it out. I had sold the comic shop. I stopped reading comics for a couple of months. I was picking them back up again, and I'm like, God, what happened in just a couple of months? Because, I mean, it was degrading a little bit, but when I sold my shop in 2013, comics were still pretty good. Like, we had just gone through a great run from the early aughts to 2011. There was a lot of great stories that I enjoyed. They were doing a lot of different things. Little did I know that a lot of it was to set up stuff. It's not unlike 2009 Star Trek, which was perfectly fine. It was in an alternate universe. You know, they recast the originals, and they did an okay job, and it was fun, and it was harmless at the time. But little did I know how much damage that would do, and how much it would invite in. Hell, Mad Max Fury Road, a movie that I liked when I walked out of it. I did. Then I watched. I always forget the guy's name. I watched a video on all the symbolism in it. And at first I thought the guy was crazy, but then I'm like, the more I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. And that was a template film too. And if it just existed by itself and people didn't try to emulate it over and over and over again, it probably would have been fine. But now that's the norm. It's a trope. It's a trope. What Halo is about to do is a trope. And I think Jeremy has every right to question that that TV show. Bad haircut, new character, gets more dialogue than the main character that everyone wants to see. I mean, hell, I know The Witcher essentially is the girl that's the key to everything in the books, but it's still about The Witcher. They still run everything through the Witcher, and The Witcher isn't a side character in the books. He is a side character in the show that is titled The Witcher. That's why Spider-Man No Way Home was such a breath of fresh air for everybody. I don't think they reinvented the wheel. I just think they went back to basics on that one. Why they did it, not really sure. They don't want to mess with Spider-Man. They didn't have enough time. All of it could be true. Not really sure. But it wasn't woke garbage. Now, it certainly had its problems, and I talked about it in my review, Doctor Strange. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this on Real BBC, but it looks like those Reddit rumors about Doctor Strange that I read, 3 weeks ago now? And yeah, I read them. I don't care about spoilers. I've had stuff spoiled for me for so long at the comic store. You know, I couldn't read a comic right away a lot of the times. So some guy would come in and, you know, blast out that Spider-Man isn't with Mary Jane anymore because he did a deal with Mephisto. And I'm like, shut up. And it actually happened. Yeah, that stuff would happen all the time. So, yeah, so it turns out Doctor Strange rumors, which some of the stuff I read, honestly, I thought was pretty cool. But then there was some other stuff that I won't say it here. You'll have to do your own investigating if you like. You know, all the Reddit rumors, all the scoopers are going to take credit for in a couple months. Bless their heart. Behind paywalls on Patreon. I love that there's somebody called Meth Bear. I'm just looking at that right there. Yeah, Meth Bear, because it makes me think of Cocaine Bear. And I know Meth Bear is probably Cocaine Bear's sibling. Lady Gravemaster, what are you doing? Lady Gravemaster, thank you for the $50. She says, GoFundMe only released the funds yesterday, and it is sus. City of Ottawa now wants to seize all nine. Oh, no. All 9 million raised to cover cost of policing the city. No arrests, no property damage, no violence. Truckers cleared ice and snow from walkways. Trudeau wants to punish them. No. GoFundMe, if you seize a private company's money, then you are a totalitarian state. You are a dictatorship. You're a totalitarian state. Period. End of story. These governments better fucking chill out. Didn't they not denounce Trudeau's blackface yesterday too? When somebody put forward that they should denounce it, they didn't do it. Man, they're getting arrogant. They're getting fucking arrogant. The sheer fucking hubris of these governments. I wouldn't go there. I'm telling you right now, do not go there. Do not push people. Not now. You know, the riots from 2020, they never went away. They evolved. They evolved into targeted theft. All of those groups of people in California robbing. By the way, they're only showing you video of the Louis Vuittons getting robbed. You know who else is getting robbed every single day as I speak? The mom and pops on Geary up in San Francisco. I just read a big, long article about it. It's devastating to the mom and pops in San Francisco who were already devastated. By the way, those are the same people who were rioting. Both were organized, in my opinion. You know what else has evolved? Lockdowns. Lockdowns evolved into mandates. This is why you really need to watch Comics Division, folks. Stuff on Unsafe Space while it's still around. You really need to watch that stuff. I was very sorry to hear Zucker resigned from CNN today for having a consensual relationship with somebody at work. I mean, no, you don't want to fraternize with people at work. That was one of the rules I had at the comic shop. At first, I didn't have that rule, by the way, and then I had somebody dating at the store, and I got to listen to them complaining about each other all the time. And that's when I said, one of you needs to quit or you need to break up. Figure it out. Melissa went through something similar at her salon as well. And that's why it's a very good practice. No fraternization at work. Especially when you're telling the boss the problems all the time. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care what two 22-year-olds dating for the first time think about the world. I just don't. Okay? Do what I did. Figure it out. Yeah, that's horrible. That is horrible. The fact that the Canadian government's taking some of my money and seizing it? Oh, God. Somebody made a suggestion to Elon, and I know Elon is a little sus, too, with some of his Chinese dealings, okay? But somebody suggested that he buy a TV network, or I don't think he should start anything. I think he should buy something that's existing and maybe, I don't know, tell the truth. I think it's great. It's a great idea and concept. We have like 4 or 5 major news networks. We have one that tells the establishment Republican side, and then we have the rest that tell the establishment side. And we're not getting the truth from anybody. I did notice yesterday, I mentioned this on Real BBC, I did watch a Fox News video that got recommended on YouTube because they've been recommending all this mainstream media crap. By the way, there's a little tab that you can put. It says not interested. I hit that tab all the time, but I did watch a video, and it was a Fox News video about AOC that was edited like a YouTube video. Like they cut in movie clips with like little lines, like I do, like many other people do, like Mahler does, like Critical Drinker does. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it still didn't feel right because dude was reading off a teleprompter, but yeah, that was weird. Lisa Grimm, by the way, this is on the donation side, circumventing Mama Susan. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Lisa Grimm for $10 says, hail from Poland. Oh, hell yeah. Home of the Witcher. Poland standing tall. A country that just, the stubbornness of the Polish people it's awe-inspiring. Keep up the good fight. Fun fact, I'm streaming weekly from About Fandom News, and in almost 2 years I've been doing this, there hasn't been a single week without some idiocy from Disney. That's how retarded they are. Yes, it got brought up with Jeremy when he was facing some of his quote-unquote detractors that are just, they're thirsty for Jeremy. Let's be real. And I think one of them really likes Jeremy, like really, which nothing against that, but you know, Jeremy's a super straight married guy. Don't think he's into that thing. Sure, he appreciates the love, but or maybe not. I'm not sure. Either way, he was asked, like, do we look for stuff? Do we dig in the weeds for woke stuff? No. We don't have a time to get to it all. Not even close to enough time to get to it all. That's why I live stream, just get to all the stuff I can't make videos on. And it's usually 5 or 6 things a day now. A day. It used to be 5 or 6 things every couple of weeks. Now it's a day. So no, and Disney. So Disney suspends Whoopi Goldberg for saying that that really bad thing that happened in the 40s in a European country. I got to be careful how I word this because I did piss off a couple of Germans, and I didn't mean to, by saying, I think I said those guys from Germany instead of saying the bad guys from Germany, but the bad guys from Germany, you know. And that horrible thing. She said it wasn't racial, and she doubled down on it. She's been suspended with pay for 2 weeks. And a lot of people have pointed out that, hey, Roseanne said something a little salty on Twitter, apologized for like a month straight, had the #1 show on your network, and you ripped her life's work from her for something that wasn't as bad as what James Gunn did, what other people did. And by the way, I don't want anybody fired for this. I don't want anybody fired or suspended. Whatever. They say stupid shit. Whatever. I don't want Whoopi suspended from the Stupid View. I'm not going to watch the Stupid View. The View is stupid. The View is one of the dumbest shows I've ever seen. So, and Gina Carano posted something on Instagram that ended up, well, for one, it was factual. It was a factual statement that she was relating to what is happening today, right now, as we speak. You know, that term, unacceptable views. Yeah, it's happening as we speak. Gina should be working for Star Wars right now, for Lucasfilm. Whoopi should still be on her show. James Gunn shouldn't have got canceled. And Roseanne should still be on her #1 show. That would still probably be going right now. But obviously there is a acceptable viewpoint, and then there's an unacceptable viewpoint. And that's why Carrie Smith was right when she said, this isn't about right and left. This is about, are you pro-tyranny or are you against it? It's really as simple as that. Blippity Blop for $4.08. I was trying to read that name. Hail, Gary, I sent you a couple of emails with Lord of the Rings themed intro I made for the channel. Would love to know what you think of them. Congratulations on 400,000, and I hope the move to Texas goes well. Well, thank you very much. I will check you out, and yeah, if I can, I'll use them. If as long as I don't get the old copyright gods coming down on me. And thank you very much. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is going to be the next Last Jedi. Period. End of story. It's going to be the next Last Jedi. I cannot, as has publicly stated, he's seen the trailer, right? And I asked Az some questions about the trailer. He was very vague, but it was all I needed to know. Does the trailer give you any idea what the story is? The answer is no. Does the trailer tell you how diverse the show is? And the answer is yes. And I predicted that Galadriel will be in battle armor, and I stand by it. Galadriel, who was supposed to be, I know, I've heard some people say this. I don't know. Kind of like a stand-in for the Mother Mary, maybe? I don't know, because I'm not a practicing Catholic, so I don't know. I do not know these things. But she is feminine. That's why they had her very, Kate Blanchett played her perfectly in the movies. She was the ultimate feminine being. And that's what her power was. But they're just going to make her a dude. It's so dumb. I mean, I'm sure this thing is going to look great. It's probably going to look fantastic with the amount of money they have put in. But you got to, speaking of that word, sus, you got to wonder why we haven't seen a trailer yet when we know they've cut one. You got to wonder why we've only seen one still. And by the way, that still, it's not really from the time period of the show. So, is it from a prologue? I don't know, but it's not from the actual, rest of the show, which is supposed to take place in the Second Age, and it's going to be about the forging of the Rings of Power and supposedly Isildur and Sauron and Isildur's made-up sister and Galadriel's made-up brother who leads a pack of orcs. Again, those are rumors. I don't know if they're true or not, but it just sounds bad. It just sounds really, really bad. Because the foundation of Tolkien's work is based, it's an innocent type of fantasy, something that Hollywood doesn't even believe in anymore. And it's also about heroicism, which Hollywood doesn't know anything about. And there's a lot of Christian subtext going on in the Silmarillion, which I brought up in my videos, including turning your back on God. Something Hollywood did a long time ago. If they ever had, whatever. Jedi Shredder for $100. Just hail to you, Gary, and congrats on 400,000. Thank you. Thank you very much. Glad to be among them, and I'm glad you're here. I'm looking forward to everything yet to come. There you go. The community is just the best, and it will only be bigger as we turn the tide. Respect the Lord. Respect the Lord. Thank you. And just for me, I try not to use words, what I like to call commie words. Fellowship. A fellowship of individuals. A fellowship of individuals. But thank you very much, Jedi Shredder. I appreciate it. And yeah, we've got some really fun things to come, including a lot more Nooners in a pretty cool studio. It's not going to get too fancy, I promise you that. Not going to get too fancy. I'm not going to go and rent out a studio because I don't need to. I mean, some places like Jeremy's going to need to do that. With what he's doing, I'm fine with having it in my house. And we'll have guests over, and I don't mind having people over at the house. The house is a little bit bigger than the one I lived in San Francisco, which was a postage stamp, by the way. 1,100 square feet. Family of 4. 1,100 square feet. And, God, there was many times I lived in San Francisco, and when I lived in San Francisco, I questioned why I was there. I mean, obviously it was there. Melissa was there. She had she built her life there, and that's why we were there. But I'm sitting there after I got my 7th parking ticket for $75 after my car got broken into. So I got a ticket and my car broken into for the 4th or 5th time. And like, I'm smelling piss on the sidewalk, and I'm like, people call this the most beautiful city in the world. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't think smelling urine after your car got broken into after you've gotten your 4th or 5th ticket for $75 for wanting to park at work and you were a minute late. I don't think it's beautiful. I just don't. I mean, there's parts of it were fine, I'm sure. San Diego was. I can't say that now, but San Diego's a way cleaner city, a way prettier city. It's not even close. But it's insane too. Our mayor is I just figured out who the guy is. Our mayor is dumb as fuck down here. Yeah, so that's why. San Diego was like the last bastion of sanity as far as big cities go in California, and it's lost, unfortunately. Ike and Alice for $5. Hail and congrats on $400,000. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Lyra for $5 says, congratulations, Gary. I've been around for about 2 years. I think listening to Murray Gold brought me here. See? It's because we love stuff. This is what, and I've said it before, sorry to give them so much time, but our detractors just won't understand or don't understand, is we are actually here because we love shit. We love stuff. Murray Gold soundtracks are my happy place. As far as television soundtracks go, they're the very best of all time. Close second would be Barry McCreary for Battlestar Galactica. The Dune TV show had a really good soundtrack. Really good soundtrack. Expanse had a good soundtrack. But like Doctor Who's Murray Gold, the best. They need to bring him. They're bringing him back. They have to bring him back. I guess they just came out with a season 9. They didn't have a season 9 soundtrack, and they did. I didn't love season 9, but the music is really good. And Murray Gold did one of his best jobs in season 8 with Capaldi. It was so good. Yeah, I don't know why that guy doesn't get more work. I don't know why he's just not busy all the time. He should be doing movies. TC for $5. Congrats on 400,000. Keep it rolling. That Chrissy Frost thing is great. That is probably, it's one of the best things that's happened on Friday Night Tights. We had the Filoniing, and we have Frostbite. I freaking love it. I don't get tired of it. I listen to it in the gym, and then we had Dan Vasc, the Dan Vasc, make a song for Friday Night Tights. And it charted. It charted in the UK and the US. It was #1 over an Iron Maiden album. That's the power of you. This small but vocal group that made a song from an internet show that most people haven't heard of, let's be real, chart. There's probably Dan Vasc fans going, why is there a giant, why are these guys surfing this naked guy? What is going on here? You know what? When we end the show, I'll play the video with all of you guys in it, which I freaking love. I love that. I watch that thing every other couple days. It just makes me happy. Thank you, TC. Meth Bear for $25 says, not sure what these media jabronis thought they would get for fucking with us, but it ought to have been 3 to 5 years. No visitors, yard time, reading material, or food purchases at the commissary. I piss in their pruno. Fuck them. Oh, Meth Bear, man, that is some deep prison lore right there. I agree. Put him in the hole. Put him in the hole. G4 betraying its audience like that is, I mean, it's not surprising. It's still disappointing. It's so disappointing that basically the LA douchebags that have invaded our hobbies are so entrenched in being effing douchebags. And the reason they're effing douchebags is 10 years ago, they weren't fucking nerds. The vast majority of them were clowning us for, why do you care so much about Star Wars? These are the motherfuckers in charge right now. Do you think somebody like Freddie Prinze Jr., and listen, his dad was a comedic genius. And I used to like the guy, but I mean, he's a dude, bro. He is the typical person that had got involved in our fandom. A bunch of effing dude bros. And I've got friends who are dude bros. I do. I'm fine. But like, they're still dude bros. You know, I don't care about your Star Trek. But that's what invaded our hobbies. And then we, with all the Collider shows and the G4 shows, they are filled with, and I hate to use this term, but I'm going to use it anyway, failed comedians and failed actors. And the reason they're failed is because they stopped trying. So they decided to use our hobbies as a launching pad for their inevitable failed careers because they're not funny. They don't have a sense of humor, and they're not very talented. I don't think reading off a teleprompter is something that's going to be around much longer. And you're going to have to wing this thing because there's plenty of people who can. There's plenty of people who can. Art Bell, one of the greatest interviewers of all time. Yes, he talked about everything from ancient civilizations to shadow people. But he had one of the best radio voices ever and the best ability to get the most out of his guest without stepping on his guest, without shaming his guest, no matter how crazy. Like, he would call people out, but he would always do it respectfully. The guy was just the best at his job. Unfortunately, succumbed to his demons, and that's very sad. But that guy is just, he's an icon to me. Even Alex Jones, love him or hate him, that dude's not on a teleprompter. Man. That guy is just going. And that the ability, again, whether you like or dislike what he has to say, personally, I don't have a problem with it. But if you see, like, that guy can go for hours like that. Hours. Not everybody can do that. Something I really can't do is, I guess I could if I tried, but I don't even try. But the ability to sit down and just whoop out a 10-minute video, not everybody can do that. We call it low tier, but that's in jest. That is absolutely in jest. Jamie, let's go to over here. All right, so do we want to talk about Whoopi Goldberg? No, I want to talk about Joe Rogan. Hang on. Here, we'll go to Elvira. Oh, look at that. There's the Arwen right there in death frock. These Lord of the Rings figures are spectacular. Okay. And yeah, those boobs are spectacular too. It's really disappointing. Like, she can have her views. There's one thing to have your views, and then there's another thing to call your fans trash. Trash. The people who supported you, and just immediately call them trash. Yeah. Not a classy move. It's a disgusting move. And I'm not a black pillar. I'm not the kind of person who calls for boycotts. But it's much different when we're talking about our franchises. I'm still pretty hardcore. But I still think you want to have hope that things turn around. But when we start seeing adult pretenders, I'll point that way, adult pretenders wanting to silence free speech and free expression, and not only wanting to silence it, calling the people who are for that trash, I will not be giving these people money ever again, no matter what they're in. If I see them on a show, if I see them guesting on a podcast, wherever they go, I will not be supporting them. I will not watch whatever they're on, and that's just my decision. They're done. And I don't give a shit if she ends up in the next fucking Spider-Man movie. Again, they love to call it consequence culture. I don't want her fired. She can do whatever the hell she wants. I'm not going to support it. And we are the majority, and we can show them, like, this might not be the, because honestly, I don't know if she's thought much about these views. And George asked me about this a couple of days ago. He asked me, do I think most of the empty-headed adult pretenders in Hollywood actually believe this woke shit, or are they just a bunch of parrots repeating what they've heard? NPCs just passing on the latest downloaded information. I think the vast majority of them are. Yes. I think they're a bunch of empty-headed morons who just pass on whatever they think they are because they're out of touch. She's a boomer, whatever. And they don't realize how dangerous it is. And they love to project on us. That's why when you hear stuff like our talk is dangerous, what, questioning authority is dangerous? It is for the authority, yeah. The kind of thing that you guys used to be about. People like Neil Young used to be about. Nils Lofgren, the little hobbit who's in the E Street Band, one of the worst bands of all time. Garbage music. From the blue-collar rich kid, Bruce Springsteen. So yeah, every time one of these adult pretenders wants to pop off, I would say metaphorically make them pay. If you're a mistress of the dark, you're supposed to be a rebel. Now she's the official mistress of the dark of the state, which makes it just boring. So why are they coming after Joe? Well, let's see. Cassandra Peterson, the iconic horror personality, better known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, has not only become the latest celebrity to demand that Spotify deplatform Joe Rogan, but also dismissed those who disagree with her as opinions as trash. As trash. Yes, they see us as, they say things like white trash. Damn, that's a good picture. The most recent campaign to deny Joe Rogan a platform was sparked on January 24th when the musician Neil Young demanded that the studio streaming platform either remove the podcaster from their service entirely or face losing their license rights to his entire music catalog, which he doesn't have rights to, which we're going to get into if I can find that video. Gina Carano, I think she either liked or retweeted a TikTok video of somebody doing a little digging and finding out like who owns some of the music of Neil Young and who might be behind this. Who might be behind this? I'll give you a hint. Problem, reaction, solution. Following in the footsteps of such prominent individuals as Who General Director Chedros, whatever. Fellow musician Joni Mitchell, Fox Nation's COP's All Access host Geraldo Rivera Peterson announced her support for Rogan's removal from Spotify. Hack. Geraldo Rivera's an idiot. So why are they going after a guy who will just talk to people? It's obvious. Joe is now the orange man. They needed an orange man. They tried to make it Tucker Carlson. Not enough people cared. And Tucker Carlson's doing great wherever he is. They needed an orange man, and Joe is their orange man. Joe, who used to not like the orange man, which is hilarious. Hilarious. Joe, who backed Bernie effing Sanders. He's changed his views since then. So why are they going after Joe? Because Joe is credible, because people trust Joe, because he has mass and broad appeal. He has immense power. He gets more views, more downloads, whatever. I was wrong. I thought when he went over to Spotify, it was dumb. I thought he would lose people. He's gained people. He's gained people. Not many people can do that. Not many people can do that. So they go after Joe. What they're doing is going after us. To go after Joe, there's a lot of people following Joe. Hollywood knows this. The mainstream media knows this, that we are their competition. And we are coming. We are the giant meteor descending on the dinosaur legacy media, and there's nothing they can fucking do about it. So they're going to try to get Joe. And what if they do? What if they get Joe? What if Joe gets taken off of Spotify? He'll just come back to fucking YouTube. Come back to YouTube. And if he's smart, I think he can build up his own operation at this point. I think he can have his own website. And yeah, he's still beholden to Google. But, I mean, that's what Alex Jones had to do. And, you know, his following is immense on his website. It's immense. So Joe could do the same thing. And I would believe if he's on Spotify and he still has that kind of power, on his own, he could still have that kind of power. So it would feel like a scalp to them. It would probably kill Spotify. Spotify's not doing great anyway. It was losing money. It was bleeding money prior to all this. They tried to conflate it with this, but it was prior, because all the streamers are losing money because the streaming bubble has burst. No, they're coming after you and me. That's the same thing. Like a lot of us have brought this up. When I had Alex Jones on Friday Night Tights, all of a sudden everybody was coming after me. And my co-host to a certain extent, but they were coming after my channel. I've been saying this shit with an evolved opinion for years now. Nobody said a fucking word. I have Alex Jones on. All of a sudden I hear motherfuckers saying I'm not allowed to say that all are welcome here, that I don't take a political side, something I haven't done my entire life. Because I don't believe in playing the partisan game. I know there's some hardcores out there, and that's good for you. But that's not how I roll. I wouldn't call it, I mean, centrist would be a word, but I don't know if that would be right. Because I'm pretty hardcore in some of my beliefs, including taxation is theft. But, yeah, I heard all kinds of shit. Like, I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not able to do this. My channel is over. I've lost all credibility for having a guest on. Like, I adopt all of that guest's views. And we had Alex on. It's monetized. No one had a problem with it. I ran it by my I have this YouTube offers some channels a partner rep, and they kind of go over your channel, and They tell you how to read analytics and stuff. But I straight up asked that guy, have you been through my channel? He said, yes. I said, I had Alex Jones on. He's all, I know. You guys don't have a problem with it? Okay. And the world kept spinning. I had a lot of concern trolling. I had a lot of concern, a lot of constructive criticism from channels telling me what I can and can't do on my channel. And I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, I'm intelligent enough to see through your bullshit. If somebody was actually concerned, they would have DM'd me. And a couple people did. They're like, are you sure? I'm all, yep, absolutely sure. And, Jeremy and Robert Barnes helped make that happen. Jeremy could have had it on his channel, but he wanted to do it on Friday Night Tights. And I owe him big time for that. I'm sure abating risk might have had a problem, but he asked me. It was my decision ultimately. I said yes, like immediately. I didn't trip on it at all. Why? Because Tim Pool just had him on. Like other people have had, he's been on the platform before with other channels with no problem. So I figured, why not? Those who try the most, fail the most. It was a huge show. It was a lot of fun. And the added benefit was it showed some other people's true colors. That's all. Brightest Day for $2. Galadriel and the Septum Ring of Power for $2. Absolutely. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, Joe can have whoever the hell he wants on his show. I think his apology, when he came out with his apology, at first I was not happy with the last half. I was like, no, you're bending the knee. And maybe he was, or maybe he's playing it smart. Fine, put your warning labels up. Fine, do this. And he keeps doing what he's doing. Now, I think this is the first step to them actually. I think they will eventually take him off. Yes. If a gun to my head, yes, I think they will take him off. I think they will eat $100 million and take him off the platform. And good for Joe. Take that money, run, build your own thing, come back to YouTube. You'll be just fine. Because I think YouTube would actually be happy to have him back. I think they were stupid to let him go. But we'll see. And by the way, those two controversial guests, one of them was involved in the early stages of the making of the vaccine. That's the bullshit about it. We need to hear other sides. Getting second opinions is very important when you go to a doctor. It's very important in science, I hear. But the more they come after people like Joe Rogan, it's ultimately this is going to be their downfall. Their ultimate downfall. And you guys are going to be saving tons of money because you're not going to, even if you were Neil Young fans, you don't have to buy this shit music anymore. If you're an Ozzy Osbourne fan who ended up being a big fat coward too, you don't have to buy Ozzy's shitty or later fucking albums anymore. I mean, these are all a bunch of fucking aged out boomers who are just looking for clout and they're willing to do whatever to get it because they had their fame. Their fame is gone now and they're desperate to get any shred of it back. These are fucking hollow people. Find it in your heart to probably feel sorry for them someday. Like, when was the last time you heard from Neil fucking Young? That guy looked old. He looked old and crusty 30 years ago. What's he look like now? And his music sucks. His music always sucked. Fuck that shit. So we'll see as more boomer actors, and I guess some people have come out on his side, which is good. It's nice to hear. It's good to hear. I have a feeling, I mean, especially the comedy scene is going to come down on Joe's side, including, you know, people like Dave Chappelle. Ruben Christopher Haynes for $50. I like what he's got to say here. Sick and tired of anyone not taking responsibility. The Germans who did nothing during the 30s and 40s were weak, but enough of not getting involved. Time to get involved. Time to fight back now. Get a mic. Speak the truth. Time to stand tall. Hail! Yeah. That's what Gina was pointing out in history, that it was allowed to happen. That horrific thing was allowed to happen because a lot of people were just, they didn't want to get involved. That's what happened back in the crime days of New York. I think they passed a law, like a Samaritan law or something like that. Like, there were so many people watching crimes happen right in front of them that they had to do something about it. You know, and it's when it comes to crime, you got to be careful. You got to take each instance individually. We saw that old lady fucking unmask that guy ripping off stuff in the store. That was awesome. Hail grandma. But what happened, that horrible event in Germany in the 30s and 40s was, again, allowed to happen because people didn't get involved. People started acting like, they started being shills for the government. The kind of thing Gina was warning about. And it only led to the death of 6 million human beings. Kids, little kids. George Orwell for $20. Hail and congrats on 400,000, Gary. Your stuff is always great. We'll all be here when you hit 1 million. I don't know about that, but thank you. I mean, thanks for being here. I don't know about hitting 1 million. I am no critical drinker, but by the way, hail drinker for hitting 1 million. That's fucking awesome. I appreciate if it all stops today, that's fine. I am completely happy. This is what oh God, I remember back, I'm like, if I get to 10,000 subs, that's good. That'll be good. I think I've said that on many live streams. I'm like, I'm fine with 10,000. It's been a lot of fun. No, it's not fun watching our franchises die, but like, we tend to make the best out of a bad situation, we human beings. And that's what we've been doing. And who knows? Maybe one of the franchises will turn around. Star Trek's fucked. That is fucked. Star Wars, pretty fucked. Doctor Who, wait and see. Which I can't believe. We're at a wait and see. Very skeptical. Very, 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 very skeptical. But we're at a wait and see. Java Bean for $2 Australian says, go Gary, congrats. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Hashtag So Australia. Oh, SOS Australia. So Australia. I'm an idiot. SOS Australia. Get out of there, man. Oh my God. I hadn't thought about this guy in years. So it came across my mind. I'm like, whatever happened to Coach Red Pill? I haven't watched Coach Red Pill in like 5 years. And he's got like one video left on his channel. And I think he moved to Russia. And he's like, get out of the United States. I'm like, well, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. No. I'd say get out of your blue city. If you can. But I was like, what the hell, dude? Paola RL for $8.99. That's proper British money. It says, "Hail Gary, congratulations on 400K. The past few years have been tough, but your channel helped me. Aw, thanks for being inspiring." And thank you, Paola. Yeah, the UK is more free than America in a lot of places. It's more free than California. Somebody finally asked me to put on a mask the other day, and I didn't do it. I just looked at him and went, "Can't do it, partner." I said, "Do you want me to leave?" And he said, "No." I'm like, all right. And yeah, a couple of Karens looked at me all. I'm all, ladies? Yep. Can't do it, partner. JA for $10 says, "Hail, Gary. You will be right about them putting Galadriel in armor because they already did in that DLC of a video. Oh, the DLC of a video game called Shadow of Mordor, which I have not played. She fights with daggers even in the game." She doesn't need daggers. Daggers? Yeah. Is that why everybody hates that game, JA? I have it on Steam, but I've never played it. The Goatfish for $10 says, "Found you and FNT after I saw Invincible on Amazon, then got all the comics, just ordered 20 comics from Indiegogo around the whole Comicsgate thing. They'll hold me over until the Rippaverse gets launched, which is going to be soon. I guess he got his first proof. Hail the Rippaverse." There's a lot of, there's tons of independent media out there. And it's great. It's great that people do independent, make their stuff. And there's so many out there. There's so much to choose from. We just always have to remember to not turn into, and I know a lot of people bring this up, but you don't want to turn into the thing we've been fighting. You really don't. So I'll repeat what I said the other day. It's why you don't hear me going after other channels' audiences. Because there's a good chance we all share that audience because we are the audience. We are the audience. Want to go after a content creator? Fine. I don't care. And their views, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But once you start going after the audience, well, then you're just like a hack from Marvel or DC, aren't you? Aren't you? Nope. And you know who notices that? The audience. Because the audience is smart. The Grizzly for $50. So saw no sharks yet. But what made Halo was its story and art design. The Covenant, I think it's Badu. I don't know what that is. Sorry. You played as them for half of the second game and saw their side of the conflict. In fact, they made Halo look generic as the fact that they made Halo look generic is a sin. Look at Halo environments. I will, Grizzly, and thank you for the $50. I liked the original Cortana. She looked like Phoebe Cates. Mm-hmm. My ex-wife, not literally my ex-wife, but it's an account called My Ex-Wife, for $10 says, "Sadly, my fellow Halo fans are ready to accept mediocrity. I made a video and it got a view or two, but it feels like no one is ready to accept that this is going to be crap." Hey, same thing's going on with Lord of the Rings. There is a lot of us just around this sphere who know what's going to happen, but the vast majority of the audience does not. And they are not ready for what they are about to see. That's why I mean, this is just a wild conspiracy theory. I think Amazon wants to remake The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I think they do. Christopher for $2 says, "I don't mind the length." Mahler's smile intensifies. Justin, thank you for the $2. Justin Morier for $5. First-time supporter, long-time watcher. Ooh, welcome. I want a White Panther and a gay black whammon Jesus. Well, we'll probably get the latter. I don't think we'll ever get the White Panther. Although that will be, if you want to do your blazing saddles of wokeness, I would call it the White Panther. That's what it'd be called. Melissa R. for $5. So tired of H. Wood making unique sci-fi fantasy franchises into cookie-cutter copies. They share archetypes, but their differences set them apart. Exactly. That's why I like, well, something like The Fifth Element and Blade Runner. Like really focus on environment. And that's why those are extra cool. And that's the kind of stuff you get in comic books and graphic novels. And that's why they're superior. In film, you're stuck with the budget. So everything's always in a desert. Every alien is hive mind, or they all look the same, so you can copy them all. And everybody's in a mech suit. The ships are okay looking. But that's why we love Star Wars. The original trilogy looked like a lived in environment. Yeah, I want Valerian. I wish that would have been a better adaptation, because that is such a cool book. That is a fucking cool book. And maybe somebody will take another crack at it someday when it's not crazy woke shit. Liz BC for $4.99 says, thoughts on Attack on Titan or a current anime? It's not Hollywood, but curious about AOT. Love it so much. AOT, which is Attack on Titan. He just said it. I have seen a little bit of Attack on Titan, and it looks very cool. I've seen the live action one and some of the anime. Not all of it. It looks very cool. The Titans are creepy. I like it. But I don't know much about anime or manga. I'm dipping in, but I had to stop because the move. But I'll dip back in. It's difficult for a lifelong American comic book fan to get used to the art. All right. So, and I'm old, but I'm not totally set in my ways. So I will check it out. Oh, shit. Brightest Day for $1.99. Gary, I don't mind the length, Beekler. Oh, boy. There it goes. You just make one mistake online, they'll never let you forget it. Never let you forget it. Elvira, you suck. Elvira, you suck. Everybody who comes out against Joe Rogan, you suck. And you know what? It's being pushed by CNN because CNN's irrelevant. It's going to get sold. It's only a matter of time till CNN gets sold and it goes away. So that will be a day worth celebrating. The day CNN gets sold and, I don't know, turned into a mini Fox News because they want to make money. Remember when they tried to do that with MSNBC? Didn't they try to make it a mini Fox News for a little while? It is very curious that we have three networks that just say the same fucking thing. What is the difference between ABC, NBC, and CBS? What's the real difference? There is none. A couple of difference in their acronyms. That's it. Fox is, in a lot of ways, controlled opposition. I think Tucker's the saltiest one there. But I mean, they get ratings. That's why they get the ratings. And everybody else is going to YouTube now. I don't know if there's ever been a study done. You never hear YouTube mentioned in the streaming wars. You want to know why? Because they're scared to mention it. Because YouTube crushes all of the streaming services. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Why don't the streaming services release their numbers? Hollywood has always been about numbers. The biggest box office hit, the number one television show, the number one song as far as entertainment is concerned, the number one comic book, the number one best-selling novel. They tell you what the numbers are. Why all of a sudden are they hiding the numbers? Because they're extremely, shockingly low. That's why. Otherwise, we'd hear about it. And on the rare occasion they get a hit, we do hear about it. I don't know if we can trust their numbers. For instance, What's a View? Did somebody watch the entire episode, or are you counting somebody who dipped in for 3 minutes? Because that's not watching the entire episode. Did you know most reviewers for streaming services, especially that go on Rotten Tomatoes, are reviewing an entire season of television based on the first 3 episodes they're given and they never finish? Bet you didn't know that. But that's most of the reviews you see on television shows are on the first 3 or 4 episodes. They rarely watch the whole thing and do a review on it, or wait, because they have to be first. Well, I mean, WandaVision would probably be considered a much better show based on that, but it's garbage. This is why the legacy dinosaur media is losing out. They tried so hard to be first, they forgot to be honest, real, so on and so forth. But yeah, Star Trek Strange New Worlds was announced yesterday. The tweet was put out at 11:30 on an account that's got thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. After 6 hours, that tweet had 2,500 likes. 2,500 likes announcing a Star Trek show. Doctor Who and its garbage got more likes than that. So, to echo Red Letter Media, I challenge CBS, All Access, or Paramount Plus, release the numbers for Star Trek. And you have to be honest, by the way. Release the numbers, because I call bullshit. I'm betting, based on just anecdotal evidence, and I dig into analytics, and I know how many people are watching a video, and I know a percentage of what subscribers watch the content all the time. So I don't think it's that different for a streaming service. I think your average episode of Star Trek Discovery is lucky if it gets 200,000 views overall, over its entire life on Paramount Plus. Prove me wrong, CBS and Paramount. Prove me wrong. I heard some of your short treks only got 20,000 views. 20,000 views. So what they're doing over there in Paramount, because I get asked a lot, is like Star Trek's awful. It never trends. It's got this minuscule fan base. Why do they keep making it? Well, CW Star Trek was good enough for them. That's what they wanted. Like, we saw Star Trek as something bigger than Paramount saw it. Like, we see it as like one of the top 3 franchises that should bring in billions of dollars. And it could. It could if it was done right by the right people. But no, they're perfectly fine. It's their Supergirl. It's their Naomi. It's their Batwoman. They are perfectly fine with the minuscule views they get and the garbage they're putting out, because they don't give a fuck about Star Trek. They just want to have a franchise. None of the people who create the show for cavort with, none of the people who they cavort with watch the fucking show. They don't care. They just go, wow, you were the first Star Trek show to be diverse, even though that wasn't true. You were the first Star Trek show to have a lesbian, even though that wasn't true. You were the first Star Trek show to have transgender, non-binary something or other, although that wasn't true. That's all they care about. And the only people who care about legacy are the fans. Robert Meyer Burnett, yours truly. A lot of Star Trek fans out there. Not as many. And it's cooked. It's done. If they would have pulled the plug on this and turned things around and just made mediocre stuff, or I don't know, get some Star Trek writers back. Now, I know they're going to be, quote unquote, trying with Strange New Worlds. I think they got Kevin Smith's buddy over there. I'm blanking on his name now. Mark Bernardin writing for it. I don't know how good, considering what I've heard from that guy over the last 2 years on the podcast. Big time supporter of the rioting and looting that happened in Los Angeles. I don't think we're going to get anything different. I don't. Remember, the guy they fired publicly, Walter Mosley, was black and Jewish. Fired him and humiliated him publicly for telling an anecdotal story, a real story about real racism that he experienced. And then Alex Kurtzman showed his true colors. They're not about any of this shit. He's the one who came out and said Star Trek is a platform. They went out and openly supported Biden. By the way, they campaigned and supported for the worst president I have ever seen in my life, the guy who shits his pants in front of the fucking Pope. That's who they came out for. And they make shit. Name me a memorable Star Trek Discovery episode. Name me a classic Kurtzman episode. I can name a couple of classics. They're shit classics. I mean, MS3TK, or what, I just fucked it up. But yeah, you know what I mean. Mystery Science Theater would have a field day with Picard, which culminated with a giant space butthole with tentacles coming out of it, trying to stop an angry, narcissistic robot girl from destroying all sentient life because she felt bad. And then she changed her mind at the last minute, killed Picard, and then they made him a robot. I mean, I would love to blame drugs, but drugs would have come up, people being on drugs, but they would have come up with something better than that. This is sober incompetence. This is Akiva Goldsman, Michael Chabon, and Alex Kurtzman. They make garbage, absolute fucking garbage, and they don't care. They don't care. Doctor Who, at least it looks like somebody might have cared. I'm not sold on that yet. I think it's a pretty big deal that they went over to Sony and they got Russell T. Davies back. But I'll stick with what I said. They need to do something drastic. They need to bring Tennant back, and not just for an anniversary. I would say for a season. We'll see. And Murray Gold. Star Trek, I don't know. Now, somebody, Robert Meyer Burdett asked, has there been a franchise more vandalized than Star Trek? Yes, the answer is yes. Noel from TARDIS Zone put up there, but yes, the answer is absolute yes. Doctor Who. Doctor Who is the worst. It's worse than Star Wars. It's worse than Star Trek. But Star Trek can get close because they could still make Kirk bisexual or just straight up gay. It's gonna happen. Kirk will be in Strange New Worlds at some point. I promise you. I promise you. Hail, Big Papa Nerd. Thank you for the hours of enjoyment over the years now for that end credit song, which I listen to every time for good vibes. Oh, Andre, thank you for the 50 Czechoslovakian pesos. And depending on which song it is, we have All Hail Friday Night Tights by Dan Vask. And then we have the Frost song by Perry Chan. And then that music you hear at the end of my videos is called Beam Me Up, and it's free on the YouTube Music Library. It's a free download. It's this song. You know what inspired it? Secure Team 10. I love the music on that channel, the UFO channel. Freaking love. So I wanted to find something like that. That's what inspired it. What inspired me to start digging down the rabbit holes of pop culture? Your boy Zach was one of the first people. Yep. But then I was working at Tesla at the time, back in 2017, 2018. And I'd have my phone, and I'd be, the This desk I'm working on, by the way, funny story, true story. This is the desk I worked on at Tesla. This very desk. They let me have it after they changed all the desks out. So I'd be sitting here, like really close, and I'd have my phone on my leg, and I'd be working because I've done auto parts at this point for many, many years, so I can do it in my sleep. So I'd have one hand doing my orders, and I'm watching videos, and this dude keeps popping up with the hat on, this country bumpkin Southern dude named Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers starts popping up on all the time. And I'm watching it. I'm like, I just watch it because he was just getting recommended all the damn time. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. And yeah, just started watching more channels. Who did I hear of after that? Drunk 3PO came around. There are many others. Many, many others. And this crazy thing started happening. People started coming after this group of fans. And I saw them do it in the early days of CG too. It's like weird, man. Like they're actually threatened by him. I like this. This is something I haven't seen before because, quite frankly, having worked in the comic book industry for 10 years and knowing what I know of creatives, there's a reason I didn't invite a lot of them over to the store. As far as signings are concerned, I only did a handful. And it was mostly with movie stars, to be honest with you. But as far as comic artists are concerned, 3. In my 10 years, I had 3 come over. And you want to know why? Because I didn't like a lot of them. I reached out a couple of times, but when I heard stuff, when I started hearing a lot of stuff and when it started getting verified, you know, things like Garth Ennis calling all comic book fans mouth breathers. Yep, he did. That's what he thinks of y'all. He can't stand superhero comics and he can't stand comic book fans. And I'm like, it's Garth Ennis. You kind of expect that. All right, whatever. And not everybody was bad. Okay. There's some good ones out there and that's fine. But I just didn't want to deal with it. I'm like, you know what? Signings aren't that big a deal. It's almost like you're kind of fucking bragging anyway. I was like, you know, I just want to make my store good. That's it. I just want to make my store an attraction, not some artist or creative. So that's what I focused on. And that's what inspired these crazy walls is I'm like, shit, every time I go to a comic store, there's always some crappy poster that's fading. I'm like, these are comic stores. These are places of wonder. When I went to a comic store when I was a kid, it was heaven. It was like, oh my God. I wanted to pass that feeling on. So I covered every inch of wall space and ceiling space with props from movies. I have, pumpkin bombs from Spider-Man 2. All kinds of stuff. Life-size figures, 1-in-1 head sculpts, put them everywhere. So when somebody came to the store, whether they bought something or not, they feel like it was worth the trip. And it did my heart good. Every time somebody walked in the door, they went, oh my God. My little store blew them away. I'd ask Melissa, I'd be there until midnight, 2 a.m, putting up banners, hanging up comic books. For a couple of years, I put entire comic book runs around because I had these really high ceilings. So I put Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 600 on the wall in my store in order. Same thing with Avengers 1 through 500 and Daredevil 1 through 500 and X-Men 1 through 500 and Fantastic Four 1 through 500. Did it all. And it was nuts. People could have robbed me. They could have taken all my comics. I had an iron gate in front of the store. But I got lucky. I got out of there before the crime started getting bad, really bad. But that's the same thing I do here. You got to make it worth the trip, make it worth the experience. Because it's about the customer. It's not about the store owner getting the brag because, well, Neil Gaiman came to my store and he hit on my staff. Oh, whoops. That was That was metaphorical, maybe. Yeah, so it wasn't a big deal. Noelle Neal coming over to my store, that was fucking awesome. I got to meet the real Lois Lane. Ray Stevenson coming over, the Punisher for Punisher Warzone, that was cool. That was really cool. MC Hammer coming to the store, that was fucking awesome. I think I still have his number. I doubt it's good. Tyrese Gibson came over to the store, and that's who MC Hammer came over with. So I had Tyrese Gibson and MC Hammer over, Peter Jackson and Philippa Boyens came into my store. Robin Williams came into my store a couple times. Yeah, it's cool. I have, I can put this picture up. I have a picture of Derek Robertson and Brent Spinner at an event I did that he wandered into. Fun times. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Beach Lover for £2 says Salty Cracker is still here. Yes, he's still here. He's not monetized. That's what I meant. My bad. Yeah. Salty is still here. He's just not monetized. So he should be on this platform monetized. That's what I meant to say. Thank you. M Tax Shark for $5. There, the demons wear the knights. St. George. There's the dragon. Let's go. Let's go. And hail Salty Army, by the way. Peter Shrinkage for $2 says they can't insult us anymore. Let them talk. They really can't. They really can't. Like when it comes to Frosk, again, you know, there was some scuttlebutt over the weekend, and that's going to happen. Scuttlebutt's going to happen. Especially with people who believe passionately in things. But as far as like who the courting wants to interview and how he wants to interview that person, he's free to do that on his own. Now, if Frosk would have said yes, Frosk was never going to say yes to us, by the way. So that was her. She thought she would put this fucking call out, this challenge, and that nobody would respond. She thought we would all cower away, and we didn't. That's exactly why I responded, because I knew she wouldn't respond. But if she did, say she did, she would still have to talk to me. And it would be a live stream. It would be a live stream. And there will be no prepared questions. There will be nothing prepared because I'm going to go about my live streams the way I'm going to go about my live streams. And for anybody who's worried about anything, don't be. Don't be. Again, Ryan mentioned this, and I'll mention this again. In preparation for all of my videos, if I do them on a person or a subject, I watch hours of interviews. I do a ton of research, days. My California one's taken so long because I've been watching tons of like really stupid shit. Really stupid shit. Most of it's not going to make it in the video. It's just so I double check my information, you know, and make sure I'm not pulling stuff out of my ass, that I get the information right, even though a lot of it's still my opinion. I still got to back it up with some stuff. So I watched some interviews with Frosk. There's nothing to worry about. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay? Especially when it comes to off-the-cuff interviews. John Quinley for $10 says, Texas has castle doctrine and very strong self-defense laws, so arm up. Well, hell yeah. That's one of the reasons there's a lot of reasons I'm going there. The main reason is California shut down my wife's business and made it against the law for her to go back to her own business. And then they started mandating how she can do her business and go about her business and who and what clients she can do and what clients she can't. So the lockdowns morphed into mandates. So fundamentally, I'm against all of this, and I'm funding it by paying taxes here in California. So the only thing I could do is not fund it. And that means move. And that means rip up my life, rip up my family's life, rip it out of a state that we never intended to leave, that we lived in all our lives, because we can't fund these type of politics anymore and won't. Principles. It was very inconvenient to move. We weren't ready. In late February of 2020, my wife's salon was doing great. She was the breadwinner. I was doing the channel, been doing it for a year. Things were going good. It was never meant to be the breadwinner, ever. So late February 2020, everything's fine. We hear about this coof thing, but I've heard about bird flu. I've heard about H1N1 or whatever it was, and like that stuff passes. Then it gets bad. Then the NBA cancels their season. We did a live stream on this. And on that live stream, we talked about, oh shit, this is getting serious. And oh man, this could lead into bad things. And we went all the way down the rabbit hole in this live stream. And we even talked about, man, if a cop does something stupid, like a lot of shit. So at that live stream, I said, fine, I'm going to do this 2 weeks to slow the spread. I'll be a good citizen. I'll put the mask on. We'll lock down in the house. We'll do everything we're supposed to do. And then if this goes on longer than 2 weeks, I'll know this is bullshit. So I knew it was bullshit. So we wait and we wait and we wait and we wait and we wait. And they finally say, okay, months later, she can go back to work. She can open up her business, but at limited capacity. And we have to do a bunch of bullshit. She spent a bunch of money. And then the day before we're going to open back up, boom, because of the riots, they shut everything back down again last minute. That's when we decided, fuck it. So late February of 2020, we're going about our lives. We're going to be in San Francisco for a little while till my wife retires. I'm doing the channel, whatever. Don't love the city that much, but whatever. I'm fine there. Not 6 months later, I'm in San Diego and we're getting our house ready for sale. So imagine that times a million. A lot of people had to do that. They were just going about their lives, and all of a sudden they're like, fuck, we have to make a very important decision. The most important decision of our lives, and we don't have a lot of time to do it. Do we burn through our savings, our kids' future, for the possibility that London Breed is going to make the right decision? Gavin Newsom is going to make the right decision. Fuck no. Fuck no. Hell no. And people are like, oh, what are you doing? Because people sometimes not only resist change, they hate it when they see other people changing. So Melissa lost a lot of friends. It's very disappointing. A lot of people who watched her go through some horrible shit. Shut down her business. On the last day she's clearing out her business, that's the day Nancy Pelosi got caught without her fucking mask on. And then Gavin Newsom gets caught without his fucking mask on. So we see the fucking elite flaunting the rules that they put on us that put us out of business. Yeah, it makes us angry. Makes a lot of people fucking angry. Then recall efforts start. That's great. But like, we had to prepare a house for sale we had never intended to sell that right away. We had to figure out what we had just spent a year trying to get our kid into a Catholic school and get him the fuck out of the public school system. And they shut that Catholic school down when they finally accepted him. So a year worth of work gone. So he does school from home. I start seeing what his school from home is. And I'm like, fuck, we got to get him out of this. We got to get him out of this. This is terrible. This is awful. And it's terrible. All the special needs kids, we have a generation of special needs kids that are completely fucking screwed. Nobody brought them up. Nobody cared because you know what? Teachers were afraid to get the fucking cold because a bunch of fucking teachers were afraid to get the cold. Fuck the teachers union. By the way, when did teachers all become babies? What happened to all the old teachers? Remember, my teachers were like old. Now they're all a bunch of 20-year-olds who just don't want to leave school and they're afraid to get sick. So they fucked over a couple of generations of kids. So there's that. And people are like, why didn't you try? Why didn't you go? Well, we thought about it. We did try. And we recognized pretty early, oh, this stuff's going to go on maybe forever. Well, here we are, mid-January. There's mask mandates in San Francisco. There's vaccine mandates. So we were right. Not right about the lockdowns, but they mutated. They evolved into mandates. So everything that's happened has re-solidified our decision. And, of course, there was the recall. Right before the recall, mail-in ballots. Right after the recall, mail-in ballots are now the way of the land. That's what we're going to get in California is mail-in ballots. So they redistrict, problem, reaction, solution, mail-in ballots. They guarantee their power forever. Time to go. Time to go. And a bunch of people are supporting this. And then when you're in a hellhole in a few years, some would argue that it's happening now. And I heard both Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom say this in the last week, and it's in my video. How did this happen? How did we get here? How the fuck do you think? You and your stupid fucking policies. And the people have to take some responsibility. I'm sure some people thought Gavin Newsom would be the safe decision because Larry Elder would come in and force you all to be Christian and keep you from getting abortions or some shit. Like that would actually fucking happen in California. I don't know. They managed to make Larry Elder, the black face of white supremacy, the villain. And a bunch of people bought it. Probably because there was a lot of backing from Hollywood and big tech. So now people are having regret. Well, you know, you decided to do the convenient thing instead of getting the power back for some of the people. Who knows? They probably would have replaced him with another Democrat. I don't know. But I think having Gavin Newsom's scalp would have been really important. But now you've cleared his path to the White House. Well done. Fucking idiots. So bye. No, I'm going to go to a place where I can, for one, have a prayer of getting my gun rights back and then be able to protect myself and my family. No state taxes. Everything is fucking cheaper. And yeah, there isn't shit all over the fucking streets. Shit with hypodermic needles passing through. Idiot, fucking moron partisans handing drug addicts free drugs. I mean, I'm down with decriminalizing it, but you're just killing them. You're just killing them. So yeah, that's why we're leaving California. It's taken a very long time to prepare the house for sale, sell the house, get our kids going in school. This is all Melissa, by the way. And then get everybody under one roof. After we found a place to move, then we had to look for it. Then we had to compete with other California buyers in Texas. And luckily, we had a bit of an advantage. And we were able to get what we wanted. And oh, wow, the weather might not be as great as it is in San Diego, but gas isn't $6 a gallon. There isn't homeless people. My beloved San Diego, my beautiful city, is turning into shit. It's looking like it did in the 80s again. And it's kind of dead. The vibe in California is gone. It's kind of dead here. There's a feeling of oppression everywhere. Two more weeks. Shinobi Kenobi for $5 says, Gary, you've inspired me to give my own channel a chance. Good. Why the hell not? Hail Nerdrotic, hail Friday Night Tights. Why the hell not? That's right. Why the hell not? All right, here we go. We've got the Grizzly for $200. He says, I'm sending this from the Gulf of Mexico off that southwest coast of Florida. Lots of dolphins here and surprisingly good 5G, at least if you're near enough to see the coast. Just wanted to say that you guys are fighting the good fight, and we will win in the end. Yes, we will. Hope you're happy in Texas. Hail the Grizzly from out there in the water off the southwest coast of Florida. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, the Grizzly. I appreciate it. And we will continue. None of us are going to stop anytime soon. I know some people do, again, and that's good. Fine. Like if you don't want to be in this, I don't blame you. It can get to people sometimes. It doesn't necessarily get to me because I learn how to balance it. And, well, I've just been through harder shit than this, to be honest with you. Geek Grind for $50. All hail, Geek Grind. All hail. Happy Hump Day. Again, loving the stream. You guys keep us at the shop going. Keep up the great work. And thank you, Geek Grind. Hey, check in the description below. There is a link to Geek Grind Coffee. They have lots of choices out there. They also have the special blend, the All Hail blend, the Nerdrotic blend. And there's also a coffee cup. They also have a lot of stuff. So linked in the description. Check it all out. They watch, they support. No danger of being canceled by Geek Grind, which is awesome. Every time Trudeau calls us racist, I donate $5 to the GoFundMe. Will DeRose, $5 Canadian. Bless your heart for that. Bless your heart. Yeah, we could not let the government seize the money. No way. Funnel it through America then. I would say, I don't know if you can change this or not. It's hard to change the parameters, but maybe the person running the GoFundMe can funnel it through America somehow. Because the American government can't just seize shit. No. I don't know if you can in Canada. Honk Down Babylon. Congratulations on 400,000, and that is Guyver Mectin. For $10. I like that. Eldrick Barrett for 5 Canadian pesos says, "Hail, my brother is a trucker in Ottawa. Last I heard, the Ottawa government is trying to take the GoFundMe money to pay the police and security." I don't know if they can do that in Canada. They can't do it here. By the way, police, don't support this shit. Stand down. Hail, Mrs. Nerdrotic, the real superstar of Neurotic, says Eric K for $2. And I completely agree. There's the Grizzly. Unpopular movie reviews for $10 says, here's $10 that won't be going to Paramount Plus or Disney Plus. Yep. Thank you. I do not pay them. I will review some of their stuff. Not Boba Fett. The reason? Simple. I stand with Gina Carano. I feel like I'm being disloyal to the woman. Not that she would ever ask me to do this, but I feel like reviewing Disney stuff would be disloyal, although it's really bad. Yeah, so there's a big return of somebody last episode. And again, I scanned it. And what I found most humorous was their attempts to not show this person talking. I started laughing. And whatever magic is supposed to be there wasn't there. I felt no emotion at the return of this certain person. As a matter of fact, I rolled my eyes. This was one of my heroes from my youth. My iconic heroes. And what Disney has done has made me roll my eyes at his return. Now, it's not all Disney. It's Rianne Johnson, it's Kathleen Kennedy, and it's a little bit the actor who plays this hero being such a fucking asshole on Twitter to where I could give a fuck about him anymore. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. We had good times. We had good times, Star Wars. But you know what? Maybe it's me and it's not you. No, it's definitely you. It's not me. But yeah, we're not good for each other anymore. We're not good. You're lame now. Star Wars, you're lame. You're not cool anymore. You're extremely lame. Corvus 6 for $25 says, I hate 2022. Too many lives lost just in a month. Yesterday, we lost John Z, founder of Megaforce. Johnny Z helped a lot of bands make it in the business. He helped out bands like Metallica and Anthrax in the early days. Rest in peace. I know of Johnny Z. Yeah, rest in peace. Corvus 6. I had no idea he passed. No way. How did he die? Hang on. Was it just old age or did he get sick? Did he get the COVIDs? Let's see. $69. Yeah, dang. Yeah, Johnny Z, founder of Megaforce Records, has died at 69. The news came from a post from his daughter. May he rest in peace. F's in the chat for Johnny Z. Sorry, I just saw a super chat from Kevin Huntz. Is great. Michael Ruca says, Hail, Gary, congratulations on 400K. What is your opinion on Mexican candy? Ryan, Mexican candy? Like chicle? Chicle. That's gum. I don't have an opinion on it. I think it's fine. I had it when I was down there. Last time I was down there, but I was also loaded. So it's hard to say. I don't know if that's supposed to mean something else. Not really sure. Might be some lore that I'm missing. That's always a possibility. Honk, honk. Mott. Oh, it says honk, honk, motherfuckers. It says brightest day. Hell yeah. Trekker T. For 50 Canadian pesos. Congratulations, Gary. 400,000 more to come. Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much for the 50 Canadian pesos. Hail Canada. So proud of Canada right now. Parts of Canada I'm proud of. Lucifer the Doberman for 5 Canadian pesos. Hit that like button. A lot of people have. Thank you. Yeah. A lot of people have. What's it at? 3,000? Something like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fucking cool. The Grizzly, thank you again for the $200. Sean Puffy 3 for $4.99. Thank you, Sean Puffy Combs. I'm sure you're just an avid viewer. Didn't Elvira come out and tell in a tell-all book a few months ago? I wonder if it's not selling that good. GJJ for $10. Yeah, she probably needs some money. Yeah, she always came off as cool. Hell, I think she was even in a porn. Wasn't she even in porn? Pretty sure. Oh, well, yeah. If I never think about Elvira again, I'm fine. I've got my Vampirella 1/6 scale, and it's squishy. Edgewise CL for $10. Congrats, Gary. I dream of having a channel one day. Till then, I live vicariously through you and the FNT crew. Seriously, though, thanks so much. Listened to AA story the other day, and I was very moved. Wow. Thanks for listening to that. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $10. That's on Nerdrotic Live. Yeah. I got to do another one. I don't know. I treated it like I did at a meeting. I don't prepare for that. I just tell the story. And it gets kind of, I don't know. I don't do it linear, we'll just say. Howdy, Gary. Congrats on reaching 400K and running. Thank you for giving fans a voice and bringing on brilliant people onto Friday Night Tights. Hail to the fellowship. Hail to the Nerdrotics. Thank you. And you keep on rocking. And you too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. For the 50 euros. Let's see if we can do this. That works. Let's see if that's what we got here. Yeah, this is why I support Americans' federalist system. Each state is like its own republic. If the state oppressed you, you can leave for a freer one. Imagine if that went away. Tyranny. Enjoy Texas from your Tennessee brother from another mother. Kivo for $76. Thank you. Yes. The ability to leave. Yeah. And like, that's why, you know, in Australia, they stopped travel between the states. They can't do that here. I mean, they might try someday, but that would be ill-advised. Very ill-advised. See, Australia doesn't have a armed populace anymore, which is too bad. We do. Now, I know a lot of people would just think the American military could crush the people, and I don't know that. We can't worry about that. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't want it to get to that. I just don't. I'll just move to a freer state. And hopefully, I mean, there's a lot of people moving out of California. They lost a congressional seat. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. 74 major businesses moved their headquarters out of California last year, 62 the previous year. It's losing a ton of business. And now there's a problem in Hollywood. There's a lot of work from home in Hollywood. So while the films, you know, there's still studios there, but a lot of the back end stuff, trailers, post, a lot of it can be done from home now. And maybe you don't need a centralized Hollywood. There is some concern with some people about that in Hollywood right now. There are Hollywood execs fleeing from Hollywood right now. I'll read the little bit of an article that I go over in the video. What's up, DJ Scandalous? Thanks, brother. What's up, Matt? How's it going? Hey, Gary, congrats on 400K. You and your content have given lots of much needed entertainment. Thank you and hail to the fellowship. Hail to you, Matt. It's good to see you, buddy. Member stream, finally, tomorrow, 8 p.m., then another one Sunday in the morning, by the way. We got Sean Christian for $50. Congratulations on 400K, brother. Good thing about San Antonio area, plenty of great places to go tubing down a river. Bad thing is the traffic is a special kind of crap. At least I'm used to traffic. I heard it is bad, but I'm in the area. I'll just say I'm in the area. So traffic isn't particularly bad for where I am. And like, I really don't leave. I leave this house to go to the gym and go to the store to buy food. And that's it. I went to a comic store yesterday. That was the first time I went to a store in a week outside of the gym. I've been packing. But yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the, they were like, those Texas property taxes are pretty high. I'm from California. Everything's high here. The gas is $5 here, $6 in San Francisco. What did I get? I think eggs are twice as much. Milk is twice as much, although I don't drink milk. Everything is twice as much. So I'm saving 50% moving to Texas on everything. Plus, no California small business tax, no employee tax, no state tax. It's great. It's fantastic. I think that proposal to raise the taxes for the universal California healthcare failed. And you know why it failed? Because the Democrats want to win re-election. They know they are in deep, deep shit right now. And I'm all for voting everybody out, by the way. Vote all these motherfuckers out. I can care less. See that. Who's this? Who's that? What's up, Clobbering Times? Thank you. Let's go to this. Hale, congrats on 400K. Thank you for all you do. Good luck with your move. Look forward to your shop's grand opening. Hope I can be there. I hope you can too. I can't wait. Clobbering Times, I need to buy. It's getting difficult to buy collections, buddy. Maybe I should just put the word out. I'm looking for Bronze Age Marvel and DC. If anybody has a collection that they want a fair price for, hit me up at Gary@Nerdrotic.com. I need some back issues from my store. I got some, but I need more. I'll pay good money for key issues, but I'm also looking for like DC stuff, a lot of DC stuff. And yeah, hit me up. Gary@Nerdrotic.com. If you got a comic collection, I'll take a look. Brie Larson makes me want to sell my Nissan Titan, says Daniel Edmonds for $2. Yeah, she's come out. For one, the Shirley Temple thing was fucking stupid, but let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, of all genders, both of them, men and women. Brie Larson and Natalie Portman, both female Thor and Captain Marvel, signed a very long and lengthy letter calling police. Okay. They signed to defund the police. Natalie Portman and came out and said, unquestioned on CNN, that police were the 6th cause of death for black men in America. Nobody questioned this. That is so untrue, fundamentally untrue. It's a lie. If you have to push lies for your cause, then your cause isn't real. And if you're too fucking dumb, Natalie Portman, to go check it out, stick to reading other people's lines and leave the thinking, the independent thinking, to people who can actually do it, you dumb motherfucker. Sixth highest cause of death for black men? No, it's not. It's not. It's simply, by the way, police murders, not murders, police killing black men. We don't want police killing men, period. We don't know the circumstances. It's a country with 331 million people. And I believe 500 white people were shot by police, men. And I believe 150 were, and that's just off the top of my head, were shot way down in 2021. It's 121 people. So either black men are living a lot, or Natalie Portman's full of shit. Fourth leading cause of death of black men, by the way, homicide, is homicide. And it's sad. It's fucking sad. And we need to fix that. I would love for us to fix that. Such a waste. Yeah, murder is bad. I'd like murder to go away. But guess what's up in California? Murder. Murder is way the hell up in this state that has been run, without question, by Democrats for decades. Decades. Homelessness up. The disparity between the wealthy and the poor is wider. And this is a Democrat state. Stronghold, some would say. Stronghold. Not a lot of prosperity going on here. The economy was great in 2019, despite the governor. And that's what you're going to hear. Ron DeSantis in Florida, his economy is doing great right now. considering, all things considering. Why? Because he made it possible through his policy. Here in California, if an economy is doing well, it's despite the policy. The policy that decriminalizes shoplifting under $950 so people can organize gangs to fleece stores, all stores, big box stores, mom and pop stores of their hard-earned money. And that's why it's killing business in San Francisco, by the way. So what do? They blame the Republicans. Obviously, the Republicans, who are irrelevant in this state, are at fault somehow for all the problems. We have an 81-year-old congresswoman running for re-election because she still has more to do. She can't even do in the toilet anymore. And we have a vapid fucking narcissist as a governor who's as bad as Justin Trudeau, only slightly more intelligent and about as evil. Governs by virtue signal, doesn't believe a fucking thing about it. Does not believe any of that shit he says, by the way. Guy's the biggest fucking hypocrite. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Gavin. Fuck Gavin Newsom. Mikey Gussler for $5 says, happy 400K subs, Gary. Now on to 500K. Picard Season 2 premieres March 3rd. So that will help you boost your numbers. Engage. Well, I got to get that fucking review out. I got a month before it's too late. So maybe it's the next thing I'm doing after the California video. Maybe it is. I'm going to just have to get something together because I have to do it. I can tell you there is a lot of fucking stupid in Star Trek Picard. So Star Trek had a bit of a reputation of being, it's a procedural cookie cutter show, but it was smart. It inspired smart people to go do smart things. It did. Star Trek was, Captain Kirk was a role model for me in a way when I was a kid. My dad was at work all the time, but Captain Kirk, Adam West Batman, Luke Skywalker, some of my first heroes, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Picard is the last Jedi of Star Trek. It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace that Patrick Stewart turned it into a vanity project. He originally didn't want anybody from The Next Generation in it. He wanted it to be about him. Then you see interviews with Patrick Stewart, which I watched a lot of, and you realize that guy, and I mean this, I'm not even joking when I say this, room temperature, barely above room temperature IQ. So I can't get entirely mad at him for being evil because I don't think he's smart enough. What's incredible is he can play smart people. That's incredible. Like, he can look smart. Like, he looks like a captain. But you get that guy IRL, ooh. I've got some clips. We'll just say. I've got some clips. Oh, and a big freaking commie supporter, too. Big red. A big red, that guy. Hale, at this point, it feels like they grabbed some Mando Season 3 episodes and scrapped whatever horrors they planned for Boba at the last second. Yeah. I think there's one more episode. There has to be one more episode of Boba Fett because Boba Fett wasn't in his show for a second. I think he was there for like a second. I skimmed the show. But he wasn't in the show. It's Mandalorian Season 2.5 in the middle of Boba. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Disney it's the Galactic Star Cruiser all over again. It's just cost cutting. This is Bob Chapek's way, by the way. He is all about cost cutting, cheapness. You think Rothman was bad back in the day, Tom Rothman? He is so much worse. So The Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel is a joke. It's an overpriced joke. And it's going to fail. They're going to have to revamp the whole thing. They're approaching Star Wars the same way. They're like, all we have to do is put a cameo. So they put a little more effort into a cameo. It looked a little better. And then they tried to avoid having the guy talk as much as they possibly can. You can't do that. And it just ripped me. I like I said, I rolled my eyes and I laughed. I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody who watched it. I'm not. But there's no substance to it. It's just to make conversations on Twitter for people to go, oh, boo, 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 boo. That's it. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Alden the Blue. You guys are awesome. What do we got here? Super Neil Comics says, I believe black people would just as fine by themselves as any other people. I am happy to just find out you reached 400,000. I love you. I love your content. Gotcha. I love your content. Thank you. I think, yes, they're fine by themselves. They get treated like children by Hollywood. They treat them like children. They treat women like children. They're treating everybody like children except for white dudes. And they're treating them like little children who just ran their first race. They're like, oh, good. You did it all by yourself. I mean, it's racist. That's what it is. And people are rooting us on. It's going to look so bad in 10 years. Like I said, in 10 years, people are going to be, I called out all that SJW said all along. Keep your receipts of people. Keep your receipts of people. Craig Gant says the 2A is not so much better about fighting a ground war against our military, but self-defense. But about self-defense, if the government takes our right to defend ourselves and we become 100% reliant on the government, protection 2A, reject nanny state. Reject nanny state at all costs. At all costs. I don't want your protection other than like your basic police stuff. Investigate murders, do all that stuff. That's great. Leave me alone. If I'm not doing anything wrong, leave me the fuck alone. That's all I want. Leave me alone. It's just Robbie for $5 says, no, you're a Galactic Star Cruiser. The Bay is definitely missing you these days. Take the best parts with you. You can use them there, I'm sure. Thank you. It's just Robbie. Hail to the common sense of the Bay Area for sure. Maximilian Holzesher. I messed that up. For $5 Australian dollars. Hail, Gary. Was wondering what you think about David Tennant Doctor Who rumors and the TV-14 rating on the La Trop show. Yeah, that TV-14 rating. Well, I might know something about that. Now, it's partially because of violence. Okay. There's going to be people getting decapitated. That's normal for Lord of the Rings. There's fantasy violence, but nudity, sexuality, LGBTQ plus representation. Yeah. Lot of rop. There's a very good chance it's going to be shit. I do believe everything we were concerned about is happening. And that's why they haven't released anything. As far as the David Tennant rumors go, I know he's coming back for the 60th. He'll absolutely come back from the 60th. He's a fan of the show. He likes the character, and it works. And as far as him coming back for a season, for some specials, they have to do it. They have to do that. That's their only option. They have to cut the woke bullshit, get rid of the timeless children, bring back John Barrowman and David and Catherine Tate and Freema and Billy. All right, they're not going to bring back Noel. That's too bad. He's in a little bit of trouble. But I need to see some evidence there with Noel Clark. Yeah, they don't need a fresh start. They need to go back to basics. And this is only to get some of their audience back. They're never going to get all of it back. It is really fucking hard to get people back once you have alienated them. And this is beyond alienation. It got personal. It got political. You called your fans racists, and you supported it by not condemning the people calling your fans racist. You backed it up, BBC. And that was part of your strategy. That was part of your initial strategy. We'll come out with a female doctor. If they complain about it, we'll just call them misogynists. These are your fans, fucker. And we're just talking about one character. So you're saying how somebody feels about a character staying, like if they turn Spider-Man into a female, would somebody be sexist, being mad? It's the same fucking thing. No, they wouldn't be. They're just mad about a character. But you galvanized your 5 or 6 people in the fucking Tumblr sphere. And well done. And your franchise is dead. The one you sold and the one you promised, or the one the licensees absolutely got pissed about. As a German band, Extra Bright said in their 1991 song, Elvira, she's neither smart nor beautiful. She's divinely obscene. Yeah, she isn't smart. She's never been smart. Sam Christian for $50. Thank you again. Oh, I read this one, but thank you. Crimson Death Pepper for $4.99. Hail Nerdrotic from the free state of Alabama. Congrats on 400K. Enjoy your new home in Texas. I can't wait to get there. Can't wait. Thank you. Thank you. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got to wrap things up. There will be a Square Up Thursday night, late, like at 10 o'clock at night. And then we're going to do another one on Saturday at 10:45. So look for those on Nerdrotic Live. Subscribe to Nerdrotic Live, my alternate channel. Also, Nerdrotic Daily. Joe Perry, I'm so sorry. I meant to open up with this. Dude, I'm sorry. Nerdrotic Daily just hit 60,000 subscribers. And it's blowing up. I'm very happy. That's Perry runs that channel. So Perry clips out stuff from these live streams. He edits my videos. He works for Nerdrotic now. He's an official member of Nerdrotic, along with Quarter Black Garrett. We also have X-Ray Girl, who produces Friday Night Tights and The Real BBC. And maybe this show eventually. I've got, this is as big of a staff as I'll ever want. I hired every single person based on their merit, on their ability to do a job. Didn't really give a shit what they look like. First producer I hired, I still don't know what she looks like. Was Lady Gravemaster. I don't know what Lady Gravemaster looks like. I have no idea. We just talked. Hired everybody on merit. By the way, did that at my comic store as well. How much did you know about comics? Were you friendly with my customers? Can you count money? Can you show up to work? And they did. And I had, for the most part, like really, really good staff. I had some shitty ones too, but I had mostly some very good staff. And Perry is killing it. I think if Nerdrotic Daily hits 100K, he gets the plaque. He gets the silver button, by the way. But yeah, we hit 60,000 on Nerdrotic Daily, the little clips channel. We got over 50,000 on Nerdrotic Live. And again, Nerdrotic Live exists as an archive for the most part. I'll do some live streams over there too. That's where I put the member streams. Go check those out. Those are a lot of fun because the members at Nerdrotic are fucking awesome and funny. And yeah, a lot of stuff going on for the future. A lot of stuff to look forward to. Let me get over here. Athenon for $100 on the donation side. Thank you. Hail, Gary. Grats on 400K. The new Thor looks to be horrible, full of woke garbage and token LGBTQ plus representation that, of course, will be cut out for the markets that they want to appease. Keep up the good work, and thank you for all the great work you do. And Athenon, thank you for the $100. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any scissoring. For one, Tessa Thompson is not attractive. I don't find her attractive at all. And I don't think she's a good actor. She acts the same in everything. She has no fucking range. I think she just became popular person of color to check a box. And I like Valkyrie, was one of my favorite characters. She's in my favorite superhero team as a kid was the Defenders, which had a rotating cast, but they were mainly Doctor Strange, Namor, the Hulk, Silver Surfer, Valkyrie, but Daredevil was in it. Luke Cage was in it. Some of the X-Men were in it. Hellcat was in it. Yeah, there were some cool fucking people in the Defenders. Loved the early run. The first 100 issues were great. They fought all the weird stuff, all the really bizarre stuff they fought, and it was brilliant team, just a brilliant team. And then they fucking, Tessa Thompson doesn't look like Valkyrie, doesn't have a costume like Valkyrie, so she's MCU garbage Valkyrie, and I don't know why they're putting her in the movie. She detracts from it. She's not good. She's not a good actress. She has no charisma. She smirks through fucking everything, and she's just fucking annoying. So the more she's in the movie, the less chance it'll be of it being successful. Natalie Portman's Jane Foster, I liked in the first two Thor. I had no problem with her in the first two Thor movies, but it sounds like she's going to be an SJW annoying character. It sounds like she will be the focus. Same old bullshit, bait and switch. I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. Taika Waititi. Yeah, it's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be a total fucking shit show. I thought Ragnarok was okay. Okay. But I've only seen it, I think, twice. All the Marvel movies I love, I've watched multiple times. I mean, I got these French Mondo. I love these. These are awesome. They're steel cases. And they come with special. It's the Mondo cover. I accidentally bought two, so I'm going to be giving one of these away. The Mondo covers look awesome. Iron Man 2. Winter Soldier. And good old Dark World. Everybody likes to shit on Dark World. Love the Mondos. Thank you. It's going to suck. Female Thor is going to suck. And that could be the Last Jedi of Marvel. I still think there might be something else. I think all the Marvel movies, unless they start reshooting all of them and filling them full of cameos, which they might do, I think they're just going to perform like Shang-Chi. They're just going to do averagely, not really make a lot of money. They'll have to announce a sequel for virtue signaling, just like they did with Black Panther, just like they did with Captain Marvel. Is Captain Marvel truly getting a sequel? No, No, she didn't. She got demoted in her own movie. Black Panther, unfortunately, lead actor died. May he rest in peace. But Captain Marvel didn't get a sequel. This is a brand new movie. It's a brand new movie with new characters where she's not the focus. So your billion-dollar success didn't get a sequel. So all the people going, Shang-Chi got a sequel announced. Tell me, what was the original title for Captain America Winter Soldier? It wasn't Winter Soldier. I can't remember what it was right now. I was blanking it, but it wasn't Winter Soldier. The title changed twice. It changed twice. They're always moving things in the fucking MCU. They're always changing shit. They're always announcing stuff and then not following through. Why did it take so long to get a Doctor Strange sequel? Oh, because they backdoored Wanda into it, who's going to be the big villain, and she's going to be super powerful. And Doctor Strange is not only not the Sorcerer Supreme in his own movie, he's not the most powerful character in his own movie. And he'll be fighting Wanda, and then she'll eventually just defeat herself at the end. And Doctor Strange will act like Hawkeye in his own series. He'll just be a through line, something. He'll be like the MacGuffin. He'll take you through the story. Oh, it's easy to figure this shit out because it's formula storytelling. It's formula storytelling that isn't very good. So Kevin Feige is the new Kathleen Kennedy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I'm sure the beta boys will disagree with me, but that's why they're beta boys. That's why they're beta boys. Full of beta. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast. Man, fuck all these goddamn noise, heavy metal or all that wimps and posers. Leave it. Leave the hall. I love metal. I do. I was listening to Aces High at the gym. I know it's like, yeah, everybody likes Aces High. Aces High, fucking awesome song. That's why. And then I listened to some Dio after that. Stand Up and Shout. The drums on that song. Fuck. They're so good. No power, no internet. This is the best I could do. Congrats on 400K, brother. Thank you, Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast. Are you on the phone? Are you in the storm? The storm that's headed for my wife's house, yeah. Late Art for $20 says, speaking of Dan Vask, that's how I found you guys. Congrats on 400K, Gary. Ah, thanks. And hail Dan Vask. He did a song for Canada. That was beautiful. Dan should be a major rock star. Like like Dan was born too late. He'd be on MTV. He'd have women just throwing themselves out. They probably are down in his homeland anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Jamie Foxx for $5 says, they are killing everything we love and calling us names while they do it. Yet they still wonder why we're pissed off. SJWs are the most self-aware people in the history of the world. Yeah, let's go back to Frost real quick. People were talking about platforming SJWs. I'm not trying to win the hearts and minds of a raging, crazy SJW. I'm not trying to win the hearts and minds of fucking Zoe Quinn, Heather Antos, Anita Sarkeesian, Frosk. I don't give a fuck what they think. I don't care. I'm not here to win their hearts and minds. So if I talk to anybody, it might not necessarily be about common ground. It'll be just a conversation. And it might not be a nice one. I'm never going to make that promise. Ever. Because it's boring. Because it's fucking boring. If I have to have a civil conversation, I'd rather not have it. Now, it might end up that way anyway, but I'm not going to promise it's not going to happen because, we got to be entertaining. And honestly, it would be more realistic to have some shouting between people who so vehemently disagree with each other. Don't you think? That's why when the legitimate arguments come up, when people get passion, when Az and Jeremy started yelling at each other, they were yelling at each other. Then it was done. They're like, thanks, brother. That's it. But they meant what they said. So when it comes to doing that, like I'll decide what I bring on my channel, and nobody gets to influence that except for the audience, but no content creators. Again, we can go back to all the very concerned, constructive criticism I was getting from channels. Yeah. I don't want to say small channels. That's not a nice thing to say. I would say up and coming channels. Up and coming channels. But as far as like winning over the hardcore SJWs, no, we're not going to do that. I don't care. But if we can, as Jeremy said, use them to win the hearts and minds of people who might be on the fence, people who might not be aware, people who might be coming over from that side, because we never want to be ride or die. We don't want to be like them, or we wouldn't have people like Carrie Smith, Clifton Duncan. We wouldn't have those people. And they are, you want to talk about legit. They are fucking legit people, legit voices in this movement that we need, who would not have come over if we're like, fuck centrists. Now, this doesn't mean that we want to shut out the right, Republicans, Trump supporters. No, you get your views too. They might not just all align with everybody, okay? But I think the one major thing that we all align on is free speech, free expression, being anti-authoritative rule, anti-tyranny. I think this is some common ground we can find. And then the little details, worry about it later. I'm not a big fan of Rhino Republic. I'm not. John McCain is no different than Joe Biden to me. I don't see a difference between the two. They might disagree on a couple of issues. They're the fucking same to me. And I know there's a joke out there that one of you guys going to catch up on that. I'll let the audience answer that one. It's terrible. I know it's terrible. Yeah. So we're going to wrap things up. I'm going to get the rest in a square up. Oh shit. Hang on. No. Dan C for 300. That is British pounds. That is proper money. I'm going to do this too. Oh, hey, I've got some new stuff in the soundboard, by the way.
I'm gonna come.
Oh, wait. Oh,
I'm gonna come.
well, here's new. This is new. By popular demand from Nina.
Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill.
And?
What the hell is even that?
In the soundboard. Here, let's pull this down a little bit. There we go. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Hail, Gary. Hail, chat. Dan C. Hail to you for the 300 British pounds. I almost hit the wrong button. Thank you. Daddy, chill. I've got a lot more room. I've got to add some more sounds.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that?
Do not come.
I'll eat your ass. I will. I will eat your ass.
That's as being scared by a video game. All right. Thank you, Dan C. Thanks to everyone. Oh, God, I was just going to get that one. Why did it go away? That's not fair. Moonraiser for $5. All politicians are criminals. They are They are bribe taking, money stealing, vote buying criminals. Could not agree more. Vote the motherfuckers out. Anybody who wants to be a politician shouldn't, right? See, this is why Joe Rogan. Oh, I meant to set. I'll send the quote today. I'll send the quote today to Joe Rogan. And let me find it here. I gotta get the words right to it. Here it is. So Joe Rogan is in a unique position. Okay. He just wanted to do a podcast, get stoned, and talk to his friends. And now he's turned into an icon. He's turned into a leader for free speech, free expression, common sense. I don't think he's ready for this. I don't know if he wants it. I don't even know if he's the right guy for it. But sometimes, all the time, we don't get to choose our legacy. Sometimes the universe chooses it for us. And Joe Rogan has been chosen by the universe. So there's a little quote from a book I like that's somewhat applicable to this. I wish it need not happened in my time, said Frodo. So do I, said Gandalf, and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. In other words, man up. Man up. Man the fuck up. And I think Joe is playing it smart. I think he's got to play it smart. I think we all wanted to hear Joe say nothing or tell everybody to fuck off. Is he bending the knee a little bit? Yes, but I think he's trying to survive. Does he need to be on Spotify? No, I don't think so. I think he can do his own thing, and I think he will be just as big because I don't see Spotify as this relevant thing. It's not this thing I ever used until Joe went over there. And it's free, by the way. I don't pay for it. And I get to listen to all his stuff. There's still some stuff on YouTube. Joe's very best interviews are the woo-woo ones, are the ones with, and I don't see this as woo-woo, but his 3 with Randall Carlson, and then he did 2. No, it's 2 with Randall Carlson, and then 3 with Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock. By the way, Randall Carlson just did a thing on Atlantis that it's like cost $33. I paid for it. It's part 1 of 2. So you get 2 conferences that are like 3 or 4 hours long on HowTube. You can go to Randall. This is not sponsored, by the way. This is just me recommending. I love Randall Carlson. Talks about ancient civilizations. Dude is fucking awesome. He just did one last week on the 27th. And again, it's like $33. It goes right to him if you got it. Highly recommended. Talks about Atlantis. It's fucking awesome. That being said, back to Joe. Joe, this has been thrusted on you. You didn't ask for it, but now you got to take it. You can't bend the knee anymore. You can't turn your back on this. Too many people are looking up to you. And again, sometimes we don't ask for these things, but it just happens and we got to run with them. So time to man the fuck up. Not that he's going to listen to me. And I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's dealing with a smart guy. He's a fucking smart guy. And I dig his podcasts. I listen to him all the fucking time. Not the MMA stuff because I don't know anything about MMA, but all the other stuff. So thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for being here and supporting the channel. We got Friday night. Who's on Friday Night Tights? Hang on. I should know this. She just told me. We'll talk while I'm looking up who was on Friday Night Tights. Ricada. Nick. Our boy Nick is coming back. Oh, big star, Nick Ricada. Big star. he regularly, he's the super chat king, the grift king. I am the grifter, cuckoo, cuckoo. I was not, never mind. I was going to bring up this list I'm on, but I don't want to bring it up. I really hate that it got brought up. There's a list of, it's not easy to find. So there's a list of like the top super chatted channels around, and I ended up on it. And I think it led to a lot of bullshit, to be honest with you. I think that's what led to a lot of bullshit. A lot of fucking bullshit that wasn't around before. Kids and their drama. Oh, well. That's why I don't get involved. But yeah. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the channel, supporting my wife. I will be coming out with a California video. Yes, she had a very, very rough year. She lost her business. A few months later, she lost her dad. Right? And she had to, like, while I was YouTubing, because it became like, it turned into a business, and I had to treat it the same way. So it became this thing that we had to rely on, but I couldn't treat it any different, which I haven't done. I treat the channel the same way I did back when I worked at Toyota. Exact same way. I talk about what I want to talk about, and it's fun. Still fun. But she had to carry the load. She had to still work. So she worked. She did her speakeasy hair, flying back and forth to San Francisco, from Texas, from San Diego sometimes. Had to drop. My oldest son went through a training program, then COOF hit. So he's with us. My youngest son missed 2 years of school, basically. They stayed in Wisconsin. Then she had to go collect them in Wisconsin. Then we had to find the house. Then we had to get our house in San Francisco ready for sale. That took months. Then sell it. Then find another house, fix it up, which we're still in the process of doing, and then move into it. Now they're all there, and they're just waiting for me. But that's what she's been doing while losing her dad, while dealing with a bunch of bullshit that went along with that, with family members and stuff. And then, then of course there's the internet bullshit, which is like nothing, to be honest with you, compared to all this other stuff. But yeah, it hasn't been easy. Strong as ever, doing great. She's fucking awesome. That's why that's what a real strong person. That's what a real strong person is. That's what they do. It's shitty. You get over it. You move on. And you make sure it never happens again. And we will make sure it never happens again. And hopefully our country learns that lesson. Don't let this shit happen again. Although there's a lot of us who are letting it happen, which we are powerless over. We just got to somehow win the hearts and minds of the regular Joe and Jane. Keep practicing that common sense and we'll win. So everything will be made up on a Square Up. Again, it'll be on Nerdrotic Live tomorrow night, 10 p.m., Saturday night, 10:45 p.m. Member stream will be prior to the Square Up. I think it's 8 tomorrow. And then we will do a member stream in the morning on Sunday. Got to make up a lot of stuff because then after that, it's a couple of weeks of just making videos and doing live streams when I can while I'm moving, because the moving process is going to take me a week to get across country. So I'll be doing live streams and stuff. It'll be fun. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks again to the Nerdrotics. Thanks again to everyone who's left a super chat and a donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks for all the kind words. Thanks for supporting this channel and getting it to 400,000 subs. It all happens because of you guys. You are the power, and don't let them ever forget it. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and not all who wander are lost.
Friday night
Nerdrotic.com.
You're about to get frostbitten. I do.
No.
What in the heck did I just walk into?
Wow. People keep confusing me for prepubescent Justin Bieber. Someone in the chat called me Eminem. mid-transition. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten. Friday Night Tights. Frostbitten. Now press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'm standing up for all the women at G4. Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Pockets, Scissors, Tape Dispenser, and Filing Cabinet. X-Ray girl, she is a beautiful young Oriental. X-Ray girl,
Give me cock. Ask them the price of cock.
X-Ray girl, not exist for you to stroke your chopstick to. You don't like it? Go somewhere else.
Toby, and the light source is hitting the right side of his face. And I can't believe I'm about to say this. I never thought I would say this in my entire online career. But look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick. Look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
Seeking an actor vocalist with strong improvisational abilities to portray our galactic superstar. Character portrayed is a Twi'lek, 30s and 40s, who commands respect and flame roses at her feet, operating in an illegal, dubious world of galactic intrigue while fighting for her race's integrity and freedom. A Twi'lek! A fucking Twi'lek! Fuck Star Wars! I fucking... God, it's stupid shit. Oh, dude.
A fucking Twi'lek! Fuck Star Wars! A fucking... God, it's stupid shit! Oh, dude.
I think I just broke my monitor. Oh, fuck.
Wait. All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Okay, you can go home now. I'm sure there's somebody else streaming. I know. It's fun hanging around these parts, but you can come back. There's lots of videos you can watch. You can stay and watch videos. We'll be back on Friday with Nick Ricada. Ciao, Bella.